Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today. You know what, Reid? You might be on to
All right, here's what's going on in the Nest.
Tonight at Rogers Place, it's the St. Louis Blues against the Edmonton Oilers. Sort of. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, doubtful to play for the Oilers tonight. Connor McDavid will not play. Leon Draisaitl will not play. Mattias Ekholm will not play. Stuart Skinner will not play. They should all be back before the playoffs. Skinner maybe even dresses in a couple of days. Not sure if he plays. But there will be a game. And once again, just like a couple of days ago, the Edmonton Oilers can clinch a playoff spot with a victory and a Calgary Flames loss. The Calgary Flames are playing the Anaheim Ducks, who beat the Oilers on Monday. That's a quick scene set. Much more on this game and the Oilers, and a little bit on the St. Louis Blues, who are without Dylan Holloway and who are also without Colton Parayko, the Four Nations face-off champion and the native of St. Albert. Holloway, of course, the former Oiler. Former Oil King Jake Neighbors is in the lineup. Speaking of this year's edition of the Oil Kings, too bad. 5-0 loss last night in Prince Albert in Game 7. So their season comes to an end. Jay, here are the 11. Now, look, everybody, I am not giving line combinations. Okay. And first of all, I've seen 3 different line combinations online on 3 different sites or on social media. I'm just going to give you the 11 forwards who are expected to play for the Oilers. Hopefully no one gets sick between the end of the morning skate and the start of the game. Once again, they'll have to go 11 forwards and 6D, playing short because Nuge is out. Noah Philp is up from the minors. He's in. But Colson, Arvidsson, Hyman, Perry, Henrique, Skinner, Brown, Janmark, Kapanen, Jones. Those are the 11 forwards who will play tonight for the Oilers. Whatever. We can guess on the line combinations. Clearly, there's going to be many different ones because they're going to have to rotate different players through. And it's not as if sometimes when they go with 11 forwards and 7D, well, you just play McDavid or Draisaitl more with the 2 extra wingers. This is going to be fun. Or it could be incredibly painful to see how they're deployed tonight. Who's the Oilers' best threat to score a goal tonight, Jay? Biggest threat to score a goal.
Well, I was going to say it's probably got to be Jeff Skinner in a funny, sick kind of way. Right?
I would still go with Hyman.
But who's going to... I get that. Sure. But Hyman's more of a threat when he's playing with the likes of McDavid and Nuge.
Sure.
I'm just thinking of somebody that's going to have to wheel and deal on their own to make space. Because if the Blues just decide to smother this team, they will. Not without breaking a sweat. Who's the most... Yeah. I mean,
I still think Hyman's the most likely to score a goal.
I guess you could put Perry in there.
I think Perry would be up there, and quite frankly, Bouchard would be up there.
Sure.
Well, and Arvidsson's got some lately. I would say Hyman, Perry, Arvidsson, Skinner, Bouchard would be the top 5 threats to score a goal for the Oilers tonight. Sort of in order. It's going to be difficult, though. Blues are good. They did have their winning streak snapped the other night. So both teams are looking to clinch tonight. So I told you the Oilers clinch if they beat the Blues in any fashion. Regulation, overtime, shootout, and the Flames lose to the Ducks in regulation. So in other words, the Oilers get 2 points and the Flames get 0. The Blues clinch if they defeat the Oilers in regulation and the Flames lose in regulation. So a Blues overtime or shootout win and a Flames regulation loss would not be enough. They'd still be a point away. So that's what's looking on there. That's what we're looking at there. It's fun, isn't it? Let's see who steps up, Jay. Better be somebody. Maybe the better question is who's going to get the puck over the blue line for the Oilers.
Like this is about as dire as it gets, is it not?
Well, I mean, Nuge is very good. He had some big games. I guess he hasn't had a big game in a while. But didn't he have a stretch of 4 games in which he had 3 3-point games? Most players don't do that at any point in their careers. So, yeah, I mean, Noah Phillips right in. They're playing shorthanded again. Away we go.
Don't worry, Reid. Henrique will drive that first line.
Is that the first line? If that's the line, I mean, I guess one of the guesses is Henrique, Hyman, and Perry.
You'd think that would be. I mean, that's the most experienced line by far.
Probably. Great. It's going to be great. Yes, the Oilers still trying to lock up a playoff spot. They do have a chance to do it tonight. Even if they get a win against St. Louis, they'll be much closer. So there you have it. Quick update there from Rogers Place. Calvin Pickard, by the way, the Oilers goaltender, he's the expected starter tonight, is the Oilers team nominee for the Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy, awarded annually by the Professional Hockey Writers Association to the player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. So every team announces a winner, and then the list gets narrowed down to 3 finalists, and then they name a winner out of those 3 finalists. Some notable names on the list: Anaheim goaltender John Gibson. From Chicago, Patrick Maroon, the former Edmonton Oiler. Gabriel Landeskog for Colorado. He's going to the AHL.
Yeah, he's been loaned there.
Some time in. Sean Monahan from Columbus. Patrick Kane from Detroit. Drew Doughty from Los Angeles. Marc-Andre Fleury from Minnesota. He's their pick. Former Oiler David Perron is Ottawa's selection for St. Louis in town tonight. Ryan Suter. John Tavares from the Leafs. Alexander Ovechkin from the Washington Capitals. Neil Pionk from Winnipeg. Just some of the names. I don't know if Pickard's going to get it. A lot of times this goes to a player like Pickard, who's had a bumpy journey through pro hockey. And by bumpy, I mean, maybe he had to endure, like Pickard, a long stint or years where he wasn't really in the NHL or wasn't in a lot and has persevered and he's having a really good year. Or it's a player who maybe was really good and got hurt and has had to fight. Maybe Monahan's sort of in that category. He was injured, got traded a couple times. Maybe wasn't seen as the threat that he used to be and is now having a pretty good year. Is this the year they just honor Ovechkin or Fleury and you almost get a Lifetime Achievement Award? Or Patrick Kane? We don't vote, by the way.
I mean, having Ovechkin on that list seems unfair. It just seems too easy to award him with that. But I don't know what, in the definition of perseverance or overcoming odds, I guess he did overcome a pretty big goals number.
Right. Perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication. Well, he has been dedicated. He has persevered just to score the most goals ever. And I would describe him as a generally sportsman-like player. So we'll see. But Calvin Pickard, I think, very deserving and kind of an obvious nominee for the Edmonton Oilers this season. Hope you're having a great day. How hot is it outside? I went outside, got some Popeyes.
I don't know. It's got to be.
Like my phone says plus 16. I think my car said plus 19.
Really?
Celsius.
Wow.
You have the fan nice and close to you here, eh? Or where did you move it?
I put it on the ground so because cool air is on the ground. We got to move that around.
It's not as warm in here as it was on Monday.
Well, I dressed for the weather, I'll tell you that.
You were wearing shorts and a t-shirt today.
I'm in my Ginch and a t-shirt as we speak.
I have it's a long sleeve dress shirt, so it's not hot.
Yeah, you might have to unbutton that thing pretty soon.
Well, that's probably not going to happen.
Well,
we should keep a change of clothes here, just in case, like spillage, something like that. I should keep a spare t-shirt here, maybe at the very least.
Well, you got some EST gear. I'm sure you could go wrap on Maddie's door.
That's true. I could just take something from Maddie.
Well, no, you couldn't just take it. You'd have to go through the channel.
Oh, right, because it could belong to somebody.
Because he would freak out. He would.
He would.
Yep.
And we weren't hot yesterday. We had a great time yesterday. We did the show on location from the Bell in Skona Brewery, and we stuck around after. Dustin and I did a hot stove with Trey Ford and Tyrell Ford from the Elks. Mark Connolly from CBC was a great host. He's a funny guy, and he kind of did a little bit of stand-up comedy. He won. I don't know if Andrew Gross still does it, but Andrew was on Ched on the afternoon show for a long time, and he did a media challenge for stand-up comedy, and I went in it thrice. I can't remember who won it the years I was in it, but Gross or Connolly won it a couple times. I wasn't in it the one year that he won it. He's a very funny guy.
Are you telling jokes about your colleagues?
No,
or about media or
anything you wanted. Yeah.
But, you know,
I did one year, probably the best set that I had. We could even air it someday. I have it on YouTube. We could even air it someday.
Oh, we'd have to.
I don't know. There might be a couple
questionable things,
like poop words in there,
right?
Because a bunch of you have to do a 4-minute set, so it goes by pretty quick. Though it doesn't feel that quick if people aren't laughing. But most of mine was about my father's bowel movements.
Oh,
yes,
I like it.
Or a portion of it was anyway. Yeah.
Wow. I think we'd like to see that.
I remember one year I led with this joke. My girlfriend is so cheap, she only wants to 59. Anyway, we'll just leave that one out there.
And like, coming from you, that would just be the shock value to the room, right?
I don't
most
know.
people probably wouldn't expect that about you.
I don't know what people expect from me.
Not that joke.
I think they expect me to be weird and annoying.
I don't think they expect that joke off the top.
That was my first joke one year. That was not, but the best set I ever did was the year. The premise of it was that when we were a kid and we'd be, you'd drive to Jasper for a day trip or an overnight, or you go somewhere that my dad got to know the bathrooms along Highway 16 very well because you never knew when he was going to have to go. So I like it. That was what that's centered on. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Remember that you can get in touch with us. We love interacting with you. There are multiple ways to do so. First of all, good old-fashioned email. Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. Reid is R-E-I-D. You can also email J at edmontonsportstalk.com. I would love to get a limerick or two today. Saw the Big Uke last night at the event at the Bell in Skona Brewery. Oh, that's what we were talking about. Mark Connolly was there. Wonderful event. Kids sport. Like, I learned stuff about kids sport. Like, I didn't realize that, not that I didn't think they raised a lot, but the actual quantity they raised.
Crazy, over $1 million.
How many kids they help. There was a young woman there named Courtney who's played volleyball at Nate and is now going to go play volleyball at the UFC. And she talked about some of the challenges she had growing up and how sports maybe weren't going to be a reality for her until kids sport helped her out. And now she's going to be playing, she played ACAC volleyball and now we'll be playing U Sports volleyball. So Graham from Kids Sport and all his staff and crew did a great job. The Bell in Skona, we had Brad on the show yesterday. I'd not been there since it become the Bell in Skona. It's an awesome spot. And
beautiful.
That great event space upstairs. Trey Ford and Tyrell Ford were gracious. Dustin did a good job, did an excellent job with the hot stove. We had some laughs, got some football insight and stuff like that. So it was a really, really cool day. And if you want to help kids sport, they have special events like this. So that's a good time for people to step up. But don't forget, if Kids Sport Edmonton, see what they're doing. See what they're doing for fundraising. Maybe they need volunteers. Maybe something else is going on. Another great organization in the city that you can help out.
I know they have something, I think it's $25 a month is kind of one of the big things they have. If you can do that, Kids Sport Edmonton, you can find that online. I must say though, Reid, the one question that I think was I was listening to it and I laughed out loud. When you presented a question from the nasty chat from a S. Skinner to Trey Ford about how it was, Cole's notes it here, the implications of having a child and how that affects your on-field performance. And obviously that, Trey did not understand what you were referencing because he's like,
nor did most of the audience. Speaking of jokes that fell flat,
so it didn't
nor was it a real question.
It didn't hit.
Well, how many times have we been asked that?
Because okay,
Yeah.
So Stu Skinner is stunk because
he has a
Right.
kid, and Trey Ford has a couple of kids. Though Tyrell's there to help look after the kids as well. Well, thanks for thinking that was amusing. Most people didn't understand what the hell I was talking about, which tends to happen. But thanks to Kids Sport.
And truthfully, if you missed it, it is on the EST page. The whole hot stove.
And the whole thing, that part aside, it's an excellent interaction. I mean, they were funny, but they were informative. They were gracious. Did you feel Trey was a little more outgoing, a little more comfortable?
Generally, he seems to be like from the interactions I've had with both of them.
Right.
Trey seems to be the more outgoing, kind of a little off the cuff. Tyrell seems a little more reserved.
They're very competitive with each other, though.
Extremely.
So as it went on, if there was a question from Dustin or I or from an audience member directed to Tyrell, Trey was leaning over to Dustin and predicting Tyrell's answer, and he was 2 for 2 when he did that, which was pretty funny. Yeah. So thanks to everybody for that event last night. I know a bunch of nasties turned out for that. Really appreciate your support. Your support, and very, very cool event. All right, so you can get in touch. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and you can text us, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. And if you're taking us in on YouTube, you can jump into the chat there, talk with us, but more importantly with each other. We call it the old nasty chat, and if you're in there, look at that little thumbs up button and give it a click.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right. So it is a game. Let's start the mystery player, and then we'll do off-topic after Coop's update.
Let's do it.
Probably the best that makes the most sense here. Oh, also, and then we're going to have the Oil Understood comments from Pickard, Knobloch, and Hyman in the first hour of the show. The Masters Par 3 contest, is it over now? Because it was on this TV, and now it's over. Or now it's not on. Murray McCourt, big friend of EST, owner of the ranch, is in Augusta. Sorry, Coop?
And the host of the VIP Golf Show.
From the VIP Golf Show. Thank you. Thank you, Coop. He's going to be on around 5:30 from Augusta.
Live.
At an event, not on the course. I think he was at the course. He was at the Par 3 today, was he not?
Let's just put it this way. He's going to be at an event that several of the players will be at in the same attendance.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. So
it should be fun.
That's going to be pretty fun. All right. So we have, and now again, to win this, we got, a 2-week moratorium on winners?
Yeah, it's a gentleman's agreement.
Gentleman's agreement. You can't win, I guess, more than once every 2 weeks. The mystery athlete of the game, presented by Hudson's Canada's Pub. You're invited down tonight for the Oilers game. Join us Fridays and Saturdays from 9 p.m. for our late night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at Hudson'sCanada'sPub.com. You have to text your guesses to 780-218-9999, River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. That's the only way you can win. Maximum 3 guesses per person. Guesses that come in any other way will be ignored. Or maybe you're going to help other people to them text them in. So don't put them in the nasty chat. Don't email. You must text them in. We're going to give clues throughout the show, and you have to try to figure out the mystery athlete of the game. The first clue is 3 Stanley Cups. Okay? The first clue is 3 Stanley Cups. See if anybody gets it off the first clue.
Wouldn't that be something? Would that tick you off, or would you be? I don't think that would tick you off.
No, it wouldn't tick me off anymore because I've had some ones that have.
What was the one that really set you off?
David Viborny.
Yes,
because they said 20 goals.
Yes,
that was the first clue, and somebody guessed David Viborny. So that's it. Again, stuff in the nasty chat will be ignored or mocked off air.
Yes. Off air is the key.
Can you believe that person put that and they put it in the nasty chat?
Looney Len in the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. There's a bathroom along the way in one of the towns at a quick gas station. He believes it's a Knighton Junction area. But Reid's dad would know where all the people from the different countries have signed the men's and women's door in their language. It's kind of cool.
Well, now you have to remember, we used to live in Evansburg, so we would come into Edmonton a lot. And then my dad was a principal in the Yellowhead School Division, and Evansburg was the east end of that.
Right.
So a lot of times he'd go to meetings in Edson, sometimes Hinton.
But Knighton Junction is west of Evansburg, isn't it?
Knighton Junction's probably halfway between
there and
Edson and Evansburg.
Yeah.
So
we stopped
you
at
have to
Knighton
remember, my
Junction.
dad's been retired for 20 years. So if this bathroom's had that happen to it in the last 20 years, my dad would not have seen it. I'm sure I will get a text from my mom if my dad's like, oh yeah, I remember where Bjorn Svelrud signed the door or whatever he's talking about.
Golly.
Bjorn Svelrud, the official Swede of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. All right. Well, we'll get to your Oilers clips. We'll dive into some of those storylines. Who's going to score for this team tonight? Our off-topic topic involves food. I think it's going to get you salivating. But speaking of tasty snacks, here comes the Coop.
The Oilers might have to dress 11 forwards and 6 defensemen to play shorthanded for the second straight game, with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins doubtful for Edmonton due to an illness. They play the Blues tonight. You can catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas go live at 7 as they tee up the action right here on EST. And around the league, Calgary visits Anaheim. Flyers and Rangers face off while Tampa Bay hosts Toronto on a 4-game slate. Meanwhile, the Elks have signed a pair of receivers and defensive backs. Receivers Jacob Copeland and CJ Hunton, with Kalen Barnes and Braxton Clark being the defensive backs. Out east, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has officially signed a 14-year, $500 million deal with the Jays, which is the third largest deal in total dollar amounts behind Juan Soto's and Shohei Ohtani's monster contracts. After winning 6-1 over Boston last night, Toronto eyes 3 straight wins over the Red Sox. Right now, there's 5 games live. The Diamondbacks are up 7-0, leading the Orioles in the bottom of the 5th inning. And on the court, the Raptors get back in action. They battle the Hornets with 10 games around the association. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. If your back hurts more than your pride after a triple bogey, it's time to book an assessment at Advantage Sports Medicine. Book your appointment today at 780-460-9977. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on once we get back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
If you're building a Mount Rushmore of NHL goal scorers, who are the 4 faces?
Probably got to go Ovi, Gretzky, Bossy, and Lemieux.
That's my 4. And then just looking at what Gretzky and Bossy and Lemieux were able to do in a single season, it makes you raise your eyebrows. You're like, holy crap, these players were potting 80, 90 goal seasons.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Must you click? Click. Thumb. Must you click? Thumb, thumb, thumb. Click, click.
That is just the most bizarre thing ever.
Thumb, thumb.
What do we call that? The thumb remix? The thumb remix.
Click, click, click.
That's the remix of my impromptu thumb click song that's probably now a couple of months old. And the Coob has remixed it. And that is your reminder, your urging. We implore you. Give us the thumbs up on YouTube. Off to a pretty good start, actually. Everybody jump in there and click right away. There's really no need to wait. We've set the table for you, and we're going to set the table for you with some food stuff right away. We've played the traditional song. We've played the remix song. Get in there and click.
Do it.
It's the only way you can love us.
That's interesting.
You can also show your love by sending a limerick, which Bronco Nick has done, to read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Here's his limerick.
A limerick, you say?
Tonight, the Oilers play the Blues. Team is held with a bunch of glues. Oil and tough. Scoring will be rough. Better go home smelling like booze. Well, it's a late enough game. They could imagine if all the teams were like, let's just do a shot during the second period. The game starts at 8:22 is the official puck drop.
Why?
Because it's on American television, TBS or whatever. So it gets pushed back. It's an 8:22 face-off.
So it's 9:22 in St. Louis?
Yes.
Like what's...
Well, that's the age-old question, Jay. What? I know. Everybody knows what you mean just by saying what's.
That means if you want to watch the game, you will not. I mean, you're going to watch the game, then you're going to watch the GCL Diesel post-game show. The post-game show is not going to be over till quarter after midnight.
Yes,
that
is correct.
Wow,
the late game.
Why all of a sudden, too? It just seems like in the last 3 weeks.
This has happened it's just the Oilers have now had a couple of these Wednesday games. But
because the days are longer, Reid, and they know they can get away with it.
More sunlight.
I'm dead serious. No, that's my theory.
No, this has been happening ever since TBS had the deal.
But
We've had other games.
22, it's still light out. You're thinking, it's not that late.
But it is. It is quite late.
They're trying to screw you.
I'm starting to find later games later than I used to.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Tell me about it. And I don't
even have to work as late.
I'm not that old. You're old.
I'm old. You're not old yet. I'm old.
Do you find it, though, easier to stay locked in? Here's one thing I will say. For you at the rink, it's probably easier for you to stay locked in to that game than it is for an Oilers fan going into the third period with, let's face it, I don't think there's that much. Sure. Is there positive hope? Probably. Is it likely? Not really. If the Oilers come out and they're ahead in the third period, that will be a great thing.
Right. Well, if they're up 5-2 with a minute left, it's over.
Oh, don't you dare.
Anyway, sorry.
But do you think it's probably easier for you to be locked in there?
Probably because I'm concentrating.
A fan on their comfy couch.
But I'm sort of working. Like I go in the dressing room after the games.
Yeah.
And then I'll usually do a hit with Tom and Hernan. But yeah, my previous job, it's like, well, it doesn't matter when the game starts. I know I'm on afterwards, right? So you can't really worry too much about it. Yeah. But this is probably well, I don't know. Like we have a pretty good audience here for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show, but sometimes you're just at the whim of the start times, right? Like people just aren't going to be logging in as late if they're going to bed right after the game. Or if it's not close either way, going to the third, halfway through the third. I get it. Some people be like, okay, I need this. I can't sacrifice another half hour of not sleeping. But it'd be nice if all the games just started at 7 when they were at home. What can you do? 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Do we have a winner? In the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. The first clue is 3 Stanley Cups. We'll give another clue probably around 4 o'clock, just before or just after 4. We'll have some comments from Chris Knobloch, from Calvin Pickard, and from Zach Hyman. coming up. The Masters starts tomorrow. As if you missed it, I mentioned that Murray McCourt is going to join us from Augusta around 5:30 today. That'll be fun to catch up with him. The Champions Dinner was held last night. So this is the event at Augusta National. It is all the guys who have won the tournament, and the menu is selected by the previous year's champion, right? So Scotty Scheffler picked cheeseburger sliders, firecrapper shrimp. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Well, you're eating their guts. I mean, shrimp is just basically a long intestinal.
Well, Coop's got a picture.
Passage.
He's going to throw it up on the YouTube stream for those watching of the menu.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, beautiful menu. Sliders.
Meatball, ravioli bites, chili, red fish, mac and cheese, jalapeno creamed corn, Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes, ice cream at the end, warm chocolate chip. So this is pretty cool to see what people pick. Some people have gone more elaborate. Some people have gone with dishes from their home nation, like Mike Weir, for example. Some people have gone pretty simple. Some years, I think Tiger Woods' have generally been fairly straightforward, the years he's won.
What did Mike Weir have? Beaver?
Mike Weir had lobster in puff pastry, wild boar and chanterelle mushroom bundles, sockeye salmon tartare, white and green asparagus salad, roasted rack of elk, fried chicken, filet mignon, and sauteed pompano, which I don't know what it is. But he had some Canadian.
The elk, yeah.
Yeah, some Canadian type stuff.
The boar, the greatest invasive species known to man.
That's right. Yeah. So our off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. What would your Masters Champions Dinner be? What would your menu be? So you've won the Masters. The next year, you get to pick the menu for the Champions Dinner. What is it? That's the off-topic topic.
Well, are you asking me too? Would you like to know mine?
Yes, and I think Coob might have one as well.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make it simple. There's going to be an appetizer, there's going to be an entree, and there's going to be a dessert. My appetizer is a cheesy, well-prepared French onion soup in that little brown bowl with the two nubs on the side.
Right.
Flaming hot. Yeah. You're going to burn your mouth off, but it's got to happen.
Okay.
For the entree, it's going to be a bone-in ribeye, medium rare, roasted potatoes, and a very dressed up Caesar salad. I mean, go ahead and use capers if you want, for all I care.
Oh, nice.
Really get aggressive with the Caesar salad. And dessert, we're going to go with a waffle cone, a dipped waffle cone. You know, the top third is dipped in chocolate.
Yeah.
With real good quality vanilla bean ice cream with a vanilla bean garnishing on top.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Ours are somewhat similar.
Oh,
certainly
really?
In the same neighborhood. I like that one. For the appetizer, and this would not be something that would be served at the table. It would just be available while people are milling around waiting for dinner to start.
Hors d'oeuvres?
Chips and dip appetizer offering. So bowls of chips with varieties of dip, just in bowls. You pick them up or
hang on. We got to clarify one thing here.
Ripple chips.
Thank you. And?
Onion dip, dill pickle dip.
That would be what I would have chose.
And a third dip, like, I don't know, whatever else people like for dip.
Reid, I kid you not. I told you my buddies are coming over to watch the game tonight.
Yes.
My wife, is going to the grocery store. Guess what I asked her to get?
Chips and dip.
Ripple chips and French onion dip.
French onion. I'm just fine even with onion.
Like the onion dip.
But onion dip, yeah. And it's good because I don't like onions like in sandwiches or on pizza. Like I don't like the texture. Like I find the flavor a little too sharp.
Big onion guy. I love him. Give him to me. That was the coup. He's leaving.
Oh, Wannick's leaving. So that would be my appetizer, and then there's a lot of similarities between our main course. Alberta prime rib with Caesar salad and roast potatoes.
Oh my, it's almost bang on.
It's almost exactly the same. Yeah, your meat is slightly different, and then my dessert would be a dark chocolate mousse.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming.
Thank you.
Dark chocolate,
and then maybe plates of my mom's chocolate chip cookies, just available as well.
What about your mom's chocolate bark?
The chocolate bark. Yeah, that would be pretty good.
On ice?
Or you could
So they
crumble
stay frozen, or crumble it on the mousse.
Crumble
or
on
stick
the
it in the mousse.
Yes, stick it in the
As a
mousse,
garnish.
but it's straight out of the freezer.
Like
so
ice cold.
it's break your teeth hard.
Coob, what do you got?
Well, I went pretty complex with this. I feel like I outdid myself. I mean, I saw some of the dinners that they had at the Masters there. Like, some of those are pretty fantastic meals. Like, I got to say, they're pretty fantastic. For my appetizers, I would have sour cabbage rolls. Sour cream, if you want.
Ukrainian here.
Yeah, and some Mexican corn salad to mix it up. Kind of a thing where you can pick and choose kind of what you want, and some green onion cake as well. Another Edmontonian, I guess, Canadian thing, because it was made, I think so, around here by somebody.
Yeah, they started here.
Yeah, exactly. And the first course would be some garlic butter shrimp, seaweed salad, and I'll go TNT sushi as well, and some Wagyu sashimi. So like a lot of seafood.
Okay.
And then we'll go on to the main course, which is a beef Wellington.
Good one.
Fantastic. Specifically made by my friend Keegan. He invited me over for Christmas last year. I had beef Wellington. Fantastic. He's a good cook. And then I'll go with some seaweed salad as well to add
What's
some
with
more
the
grains.
seaweed? I've never had seaweed.
You like seaweed?
Seaweed salad is great.
I've had it on sushi,
Right.
rolls, but you put it, do you wet it?
It's got to be made in a specific way. It's definitely like marinated or whatever. I don't know what they do. There's a container specifically at Costco you could get that
like
is
your menu.
seaweed salad, and then for dessert pecan pie.
So you would serve the Wagyu raw?
That's what it would be. Yeah, that's sashimi.
That's sashimi.
Yeah, I was just double checking. That's it.
Because
On a bed of rice. Yep.
Wasn't it Matsuyama who'd had Wagyu as that was his entree, but it was cooked?
Right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'm getting hungry.
Those are good menus. Alvin says pierogies, holubchi, nalistnika, kubasa. Start with borscht, dessert, apple pie, and vanilla ice cream. Solid Ukrainian-themed menu that's coming in the nasty chat. So that's our off-topic topic. People might need some time to think about this. What would your menu be at the Masters Champions Dinner? So you've won the Masters. The next year, you get to pick the menu. To me, that would be the best part about winning the Masters.
Oh, by far.
Green jacket, you have to leave it there. Did you know that? You can't, you don't get to take the green jacket with you. And Tiger Jacket and Tiger Woods hasn't won 5, 6, whatever it is, green jackets. He's won the same green jacket over and over again. He's won the tournament.
That I knew. Yeah, I thought you could hold on to it, though.
I think the first year you get to travel with it, and then it stays there. And then if you win again, they just represent you with the same jacket. Hopefully, updating the measurements if you've increased in size between wins. Oh, anyway.
Okay, this one came in from Scott on a hotel balcony in Beaumont.
Oh, he's back at the hotel.
He's back there. Texas barbecue, mac and cheese, baked beans, coleslaw, brisket, pulled pork, chicken, cornbread. I think these are all the same. So brisket, pulled pork, chicken, cornbread, apple cobbler.
Okay.
Sweet tea and slices of bread. And ice cold Pabst Blue Ribbon.
The PBR.
The old PBR.
Yeah, we didn't pick beverages. Garlic bread would be good for ours too.
It would be. Yes. Oh, wow. Jocelyn says appetizer, fruit platter, main, pierogi. Well, no, a pierogi dog?
Pierogi dog. Nice.
Nice.
That'd be good.
That would be funny. Eh? Everybody sitting around in their green jackets eating a pierogi dog. And dessert cheesecake. I don't mind the simplicity.
That sounds good, yeah.
I love a
Sometimes
good
simpler
cheesecake.
is better, right?
Yes.
And I believe that if a past champion does not want what is being served, they can order off the menu in the Masters restaurant, which I'm sure is probably a pretty good menu.
I just wanted to say this, just in response to Kids Sport, somebody has chimed in on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Hey guys, can you remind all the listeners outside of the Edmonton area that Kids Sport also has a Leduc County chapter?
Oh yeah, cool.
That includes all communities within the county, including Leduc, Beaumont, and Devon. So if you're outside of those areas, if you're outside of Edmonton and you're looking to support Kids Sport, it still does go to
That's
people
a good
in your
reminder.
community.
Yeah, I guess if you want to just Google Kids Sport and the name of your town, city, village.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have a chapter, you'll probably just get the nearest one.
Yeah, very good
Or
point.
whose umbrella you would. So that is a good point.
Because we were mentioning that yesterday, how the money stays in your community.
Yes.
It doesn't get split up across the country. It stays in Edmonton. It stays in Leduc County. And that's important to people that are willing to give their hard-earned bucks to something.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. Jay and I and the Coob are in the banquet studio. Thanks to them for being on board as the studio sponsor. Every Monday, bowl for just $2 all day at the banquet bar. Walk in, grab your friends, and start your week with some fun. Get real, play hard. The banquet. Jay and I were just talking about bowling the other day. Maybe an adventure we might go on.
I'd love to.
At some point.
Yes.
I don't know if it would happen exactly the way we were talking about it, though.
Probably not.
Probably wouldn't happen exactly that way. Anyway, that's not a story for the show. Okay, it is 3:40. We have the oil understood. What's going on with all these guys who aren't playing? You can get involved. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. The oil understood is going to be for GCL Diesel. If you're watching on YouTube, keep clicking the thumbs. You're doing pretty well so far. We're already over 50, and we're barely a half hour into the show, but let's keep clicking away. Here comes Zach.
It's a big showdown in the West. The Oilers and Blues face off, both teams fighting to clinch a playoff spot. Edmonton's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is doubtful for the contest with an illness, which might force the Oilers to play a second straight game short a forward. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas preview the game as they go live at 7 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on EST. And from Anaheim, the Ducks and Flames go at it. And with a Flames regulation loss and Edmonton beating the Blues, Edmonton will clinch a playoff spot. 4 other games on tap. Rangers and Flyers drop the puck. Toronto and Tampa Bay clash while the Sharks meet the Wild as they welcome back Kirill Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson-Ek. And the Jays and Red Sox rematch tonight. Toronto beating Boston 6-1 yesterday. Right now there's 5 games underway. Nationals lead the Dodgers 5-4. In the top of the 5th inning, the Reds are up 6-4 on the Giants in the bottom of the 6th, while the Mariners are down 4-0 to the Astros in the top of the 5th. The Elks have signed a pair of receivers and defensive backs, receivers Jacob Copeland and CJ Hutton, while Kalen Barnes and Braxton Clark being the defensive backs. On the court, the Raptors are back in action. They battle the Hornets, having 10 games around the association. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton, and Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. The oil understood for GCL Diesel brings us back after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. Dramatic pause in the music. All right. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Oilers and St. Louis Blues at Rogers Place tonight. The schedule says 8 o'clock. The puck will drop at 8:22 p.m. It is a late one. In the nasty chat, a post from Hersey, who says, with this Oilers lineup, it's very possible they lose every game to end the season. Where have you heard that before? You're right, Hersey. It is very possible. This is my concern, and I realize...
Well, hang on. With this Oilers lineup.
Right.
That is the key words there.
Okay. With this Oilers lineup.
Yes.
All right. So let's before we get to the Knobloch click, I'll tell you that this is the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to ejectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel? Understood. Okay.
Okay, Reid.
With this Oilers lineup, correct. And this is why I have brought this up as a concern and have been roundly mocked by my colleagues.
What?
Yeah, sure.
Who?
That's fine. Dustin, Tom, most of everybody.
That there is... Well, no, but all you've said is there is a chance with this lineup that the Oilers do not make the playoffs.
What I have said is that if they do not get their big players back or get them back far from 100%, there's a risk that the Oilers don't win much the rest of the way and that they're passed by Calgary. Now, when you dive into the wild card standings, they could be passed by Calgary and stay ahead of Minnesota and thus be a wild card team. But the more likely scenario is that Calgary, because if Edmonton did that bad, they'd likely be passed by Minnesota as well.
Likely.
So then you're out because then you don't get a wild card or third in the. So I'm saying, it's more likely to me the Oilers are third in the division than a wild card team. To me, it's still third or you're out. Wild card is not as likely.
Although Minnesota they're 4-4-2 in their last 10. Edmonton's 5-4-1.
And Calgary and Minnesota play each other, right? Didn't we look at that yesterday?
Yes, they do.
So anyway,
amongst Vegas and the Kings and Anaheim.
But as we've seen, and the Oilers have played, I think with the exception of when they got destroyed in Seattle, they've played pretty hard and pretty responsibly, even without the big guys. And they got a big win in Vegas, right? They've had some other games where, they've been in it. They have some wins. Pickard's played fairly well with Stuart Skinner out. So it's not as if they're just this negligent, crappy team. But as we've seen, it's hard to score.
They're short-handed
when you don't have those guys.
Department.
And now they don't have Nugent-Hopkins on top of that tonight. He's not expected to play.
Who, if was in the lineup, you would have probably put at the top of that list as to who's the biggest threat to score.
Well, certainly is there somebody you would hope to drive the offense or set somebody else up to score.
Yeah.
So yes, to Hersey, with this Oilers lineup, it would be very possible for them to lose every game. But what's going to be happening with this lineup going forward? Well, here is head coach Chris Knobloch asked when they're going to start getting some guys back.
We expect to get everybody before the end of the season. Depends on when exactly, whether that's in a couple games or one of the last 2 games of the season. But those guys are, day-to-day to maybe a week away. So that's where the timeline is for them.
Day-to-day to maybe a week away. So you don't know. And if you do know,
well, he said that
nobody's going to really care. It is not really going to matter anyways, because it doesn't. The track record here, whether it's on purpose or just negligence, is not that good from Coach Knobloch in talking about players coming back from injury. Timeline.
Well, yeah, I mean, we always like it seems like most guys are day to day, but then that could be anything. I guess he did tell us a few weeks ago that they were looking at what they thought might be the worst case scenario with Frederick, that he might not be back until there were a few games left in the regular season. He came back and he got hurt again, so now they're back into a worst case scenario with them. So what it seems like what he's saying is, though, that all the injured guys, and with Stuart Skinner, I believe he specifically said that he probably would dress on Friday. Maybe not play, but that he would dress. Okay? So then that leaves McDavid, that leaves Draisaitl, that leaves Ekholm, and now that includes Frederick. We're not going to talk about Klingberg, I don't think, in the same way. And we're not going to talk about Evander Kane because we know he's not back until the playoffs are underway and maybe some point in the playoffs. Yeah. Right. So yes, if this was the lineup, it might be very hard to win a game. If you start getting these guys back drip, 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 or all at once, all of a sudden you have a lot better team. Again, if they're at or near for full health, which I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if Mattias Ekholm is ever going to be at full health again, unfortunately. And like, he's a tough player. I'm not questioning his toughness or his resolve or anything like that. But is he ever going to be at 100%? What about McDavid? You know, we don't really have a lot on his injury. Is he, if he comes back and plays, is he still going to be in pain or battling through something? And then there's Draisaitl, who was hurt, came back, played awesome, and then tweaked something again. So that's why I still talk about the chance that the Oilers are going to get passed by Calgary. I hate to do it. I know the Oilers only need to win a couple of games, and you do play the Sharks twice. But with this lineup, is that even a guarantee to get goals against the San Jose Sharks? I don't
know. This question came in earlier, and we won't keep too long on it, but essentially it was a serious question. Could this lineup or this lineup versus the Oilers lineup in 2009, 09-10, where they won 27 games under Pat Quinn, who would win?
I'd have to go back and look at that lineup, but I understand the same. Like, if you played 82 games with this Oilers lineup, well, maybe if they had Nuge, it's different. How bad is the power play going to be tonight?
What power play? Who's running it?
They might as well decline penalties.
I mean, I guess the only saving grace is that you can roll with two D-men on there, right?
Maybe Arvidsson bangs in a one-timer.
And Nurse? Or Wallman
I guess you still have some guys who can shoot. But the puck retrieval and the zone entry.
In the net front. So maybe Reid, maybe that's how we should spin this.
Right.
The Oilers have to go out and draw penalties. That is their only hope of winning the game tonight.
Or are they better off 5-on-5? I don't know.
Well, no.
Well, St. Louis is pretty good.
Well, they still do have to get the puck into the offensive zone, though.
Right.
On the power play.
Right.
Which has proven to be tricky. Even with Nuge. But it does give you a second and a pause to take a breath and look at how simple the likes of McDavid and Draisaitl make that look, and how much they mean to that power play and setting things up and calming things down.
Now look, in how late will we be? 9 hours from now, will the game be over? Yes, it will. 8 hours from now, it'll be over, hopefully. But in 10 hours, it probably won't be. I think in 11, it will be. Maybe it'll all be like, oh, they clinched. Of course they clinched. That's silly Reid. That's silly goose on Edmonton Sports Talk. But I'm just saying, I expect Calgary to beat Anaheim, and I don't expect the Oilers to beat St. Louis tonight based on this lineup. And I know St. Louis is missing Holloway. Parayko still isn't playing. Those are key guys. And as we've seen, I do think I want to emphasize this. Except for the Seattle game, the games the Oilers have lost have not gotten out of hand. Right? I mean, they didn't lose against LA because they were getting like grossly outchanced or getting hemmed into their own end. They couldn't score themselves. I mean, it was 2-0. It wasn't 8-1.
Yeah.
Right?
Same with the Ducks. They just
Same with the
couldn't
Ducks
put the
game.
47 saves.
A couple mistakes wind up in their net, and Dostal makes some good saves, and they don't have the quality of finisher in the lineup because McDavid and Draisaitl aren't playing, but now Nugent-Hopkins isn't playing.
Well, and Dostal's not in between the pipes tonight against Calgary. So,
okay.
There you go.
Bennington is expected to go for the Blues. So that's what I'm saying. I just feel I get the odds. I look at the odds. What their Puckpedia does something. There's Hockey Reference does something. There's another playoff probability site that I look at. Dustin referenced it on his show, or maybe on the Oil Stream. The Oilers are the probability of the Oilers making the playoffs is over 99% on all those sites, and I understand that. But to me, it's a precarious. If there's a such thing, it's a precarious 99%.
It's not a great spot to sit in.
What's the percentage is going to be, again, if the Flames get 2 points tonight and the Oilers get 0? Now, and I know somebody put in the nasty chat, the Flames aren't chasing Edmonton. They're chasing Minnesota. I get that. That's a more immediate target for the Flames. But the Oilers have to worry about the Flames. That's who they have to worry about holding off. Not Minnesota, because Minnesota's in the other division, and the Oilers aren't likely going to be a wild card team. That's why I keep bringing this up.
And San Jose is in Minnesota tonight. So, by the logic of Oilers fans, Minnesota should get that win because it's getting.
And then they'd be
San Jose.
tied with Edmonton, right?
Minnesota, yes, yeah. And then if Calgary wins, they're only 4 points back. If Oilers lose,
with 4 games remaining. So again, that's not easy. It's not easy to outplay a team by 4 points with 8 points. Well, they have to be able to play them by 5 points with 8 points available. But again, this isn't a healthy Oilers team. This isn't, and that's a great point by someone saying, could this lineup beat a team from the heart of the decade of darkness? Because that was even pre-Taylor Hall, he was saying. So that was a pretty lousy team.
Yeah, like Hemsky was a big
was
dog.
Dubnyk even there yet?
Dubnyk was there,
but a younger goalie.
It was mostly Drew and Delorier that played.
Okay.
I mean, you got Ryan Whitney, Schmid, Morrow, Comrie, Hemsky, Cogliano, Hork, Gagne, Dustin Penner. They won 27 games. They went 27, 47, and 8.
So would Dustin Penner, well, Hyman's better than Penner. Even Hyman without Nuge or without Nuge, McDavid or Draisaitl is better than Penner.
Dustin Penner scored the most goals for the team that year with 32.
He had a pretty good
63
year.
points.
Yeah, he had a pretty good year.
He did.
That might be a more comparable game. Now, this is tonight in a one-off, as we've seen, anything can happen. The Oilers could come out and play awesome tonight and you get a bounce or two, or Wallman fires away from the blue line, or Bush and gets one through a screen, or Jeff Skinner tips another one. Hey, and you're laughing. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons not to feel great about this lineup tonight. And again, I don't think it's work ethic with this team, or what's the word? Like a lack of like it's not
not a lack of effort or trying.
No, yeah, they're
professionals.
Not complacency. It's
just you don't have like if that
skill still matters.
If that the first line for the Oilers is Zach Hyman, Adam Henrique, and Corey Perry,
that's not a bad line in and of itself.
It's not a great line in and of itself. I mean, one of those players belongs in the first line of any NHL roster.
Hyman.
The other two belong on the third or fourth lines.
Okay, yeah. If you look at it that way, I just said in terms of a hockey line, in terms of being able to,
you got a center that's capable and two wingers that can. Yes,
and one guy's a little nasty. Hyman plays physical in his own way.
Now on the NHL site, they have Noah Philp as the first line
and
center.
Again, I'm not gonna. I said this, and I know there's been different line combinations reported. I don't know. I really don't know what they're gonna do.
You know what you should do? You should smash that thumbs up.
Oh yeah, give us a click.
Yeah, must you click?
If you're on YouTube, click that thumbs up.
I wonder what Shania Twain would say, to try rally the troops to give a thumbs up.
Let's go, girls.
And I wonder, well, what's that? We're trying to get to the magic number of 100
Oh my God!
I love your soundboard.
I love doing this show.
It's been a while since you really went through a lot of them. I mean,
I didn't have access to it yesterday, right?
David Lee Roth is always a big fan.
That's what. That's David Lee Roth.
Okay, so that's Running with the Devil.
That's without any other music.
They cut out just his screams.
Yes, you found that actually, and I recorded. That's David Lee Roth.
And that's like, what, a tenth of it?
Oh, yeah, just the first part. This is David Lee Roth showing up to the morning skate and seeing Nuge not on the ice. All right, keep your messages coming. Oh, clue number 2. Thanks, Jay. Thank goodness I have someone with me. I don't know how I ever did a show on my own. It was only an hour long.
This comes in from McLean, just so we know here. He asks, has Derek Ryan been discussed? Well, that's going to be coming up.
Well, we can discuss Derek Ryan.
In 20 minutes.
He's assigned to Bakersfield and lives in Edmonton. That's really the short of it, but we can talk about that. I don't know what else I'll have to say about it. Clue number
weird.
It is weird. He just didn't go to Baco, apparently. He just didn't report.
Is he still a member of this organization?
There's no word of him being suspended or taken off the roster, or I don't know. I'll try to find out at the rink tonight. I don't know if anybody with OEG is going to want to talk about it. Clue number 2, the Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game is Blues. So the first clue was 3 Stanley Cups. The second clue is Blues. 4 o'clock break. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
The Lock Shop.
September is always awesome when we get NFL back and NHL is about to start. And, it's sort of like, I do love the fall, but I'm not sure there's a better week. Starting off this week with the Final Four, the excitement of the push for the playoffs in the National Hockey League, and then the Masters. It does not get any better than this.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you've got to do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
Edmonton's back at home as they host St. Louis. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is doubtful for the contest with an illness, which could mean that the Oilers would have to play shorthanded with 11 forwards and 6 defensemen. Join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show as they tee up the action live here on EST. Tune in at 7. And around the league, Ducks challenge the Flames. Flyers and Rangers go toe-to-toe. Maple Leafs battle the Lightning while San Jose visits Minnesota, with the Wild welcoming back Kirill Kaprizov to their lineup. And CFL News has the Elks signing 4 new players, 2 defensive backs in Braxton Clark and Kalen Barnes, as well as receivers CJ Hutton and Jacob Copeland. In Toronto, the Jays have made it official, signing Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on a 14-year, $500 million contract, locking him up until the 2039 season. Jays have the Red Sox tonight. Toronto looking for 3 straight wins over Boston. 5 games underway. Nationals lead the Dodgers 5-4 in the top of the 7th, while the Reds hold the Giants 6-5 in the bottom of the 7th inning as well. Meanwhile, we have 10 games in the association. Toronto hosts Charlotte and the Lakers meet the Mavs. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update. The Reid Wilkins Show continues.
We're chilling out. What is this?
This is Java Jive, bruh.
It's called Bump.
No. It's called Java Jive. It's got to be.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I
Was
misread
there
that.
still Java Jive when you went to the U of A?
You know it.
There were 2 in Hub Mall.
Chocolate covered. There was one in Sub.
Okay, I didn't drink coffee when I was in
Chocolate
university.
covered espresso beans.
Oh, those would be delicious.
They
We
were.
could serve those at our Masters Champions dinner.
Yes, and a lot of people have been chiming in about that off-topic topic for William Huff, Riedrich. And just an update, nobody has got it. There's been tons of guesses.
Did anybody guess the player I thought they would guess?
I forget who that was.
Oh, here, I'll write it down for you.
Plenty
of the guesses of that individual.
Yes. The off-topic topic was, of course, what would your champion's dinner be at the Masters? Max Bezozu, potato salad, braised beef shank, and a slice of pie. Simplicity.
Good.
Sometimes the best. Big Uke. Bruschetta. Okay, here's a question. I've always said bruschetta.
Yes,
but I've
so
also
do I.
heard it's called bruschetta.
I say bruschetta.
Bruschetta and
I rarely
tuna,
say it.
sashimi starter, smoked prime rib with lobster risotto, Caesar
wow.
salad, my mom's homemade chocolate cookies with homemade caramel sauce with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. I like it.
Wow, Iron Chef, eh?
Sea Run, bacon wrapped scallop, surf and turf, which would be a filet mignon and lobster. And get this, a Trizza pizza for everyone.
Are they from Dairy Queen?
Yeah. I haven't had a Trizza pizza in a hot minute. Rob from the Grove. Appy would be a selection of bagel bites, chicken wings, and pizza pops. Main course would be craft dinner with wieners, chicken fingers, and fries with gravy. Are you sure this isn't Dusty? And for dessert, there would be soft serve ice cream machine with a bunch of candy you can put on the ice cream. Not bad.
Pretty good.
There's plenty more.
What would Dusty's be?
Oh.
Chicken nuggets for the appetizer, chicken fingers for the encore, and chicken ice cream for dessert.
There is ice cream. I saw it on, I think, Shark Tank that looks like it's chicken tenders, but it's actually an edible ice cream treat.
Oh, neat.
It's like crushed cornflakes. Make it look like chicken tenders. Dustin would take it up a little bit because this is the Masters dinner.
Right.
So he'd probably do a blackened chicken tender. Anytime you add blackened to it, it makes it sound a little bit more, exotic.
Mex says, I think we missed the golf puns. He's too clever for us. The 2 clues, by the way, for the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. The winner gets a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. The 2 clues are 3 Stanley Cups and Blues. Jasmine has entered the nasty chat. I cannot wait for her menu, what she would serve at the Champions Dinner the year after she won the Masters. I'm sure Jasmine will have something to offer.
Hey, have you noticed this? Caster1990 says, I've heard it pronounced Max Bezozu, but I pronounce it as Mex Bezozu.
It's Mex for sure.
Mex Bezozu.
Yeah.
Mex Bezozu. Is that correct? Because I know Desi always says Max Bezozu or
Bezuzu? It's Zozu. It's Zozu.
Yeah, he says it's Mex. I don't know why Dustin always says Max.
At first glance, it might look like Max.
Well, I remember the
if you
first
actually
time.
take some time to carefully read it and be thorough, it's easily Mex.
I remember the first time Mex chimed in. It was at a sit and sleep when we were at sit and sleep doing an on location, and it made us stumble a few times.
Yeah,
I think we got it.
But I think we do it properly now. We've met him when he's come here to pick up his numerous prizes. If you're in the nasty chat, like Mex, like Goat Farmer, like the Big Uke, like Jasmine, like Big Slam Nasty, like Bronco Nick, and a host of others, give us the thumbs up. No need to delay. We should be able to get to 100 pretty soon, and then we'll keep building from there. We want to get to 155 to get to a double word of the day at the end of the show. We are bringing you the oil understood for GCL Diesel. So yes, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is doubtful for tonight, which I guess means there's a sliver of a chance he could play. He's not out. He's not ruled out. He's doubtful. So probably not. But we don't expect Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to play. Calvin Pickard will be your goaltender. He is also the Oilers team nominee for the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy.
Yeah, every day I'm excited to come to the rink. I'm proud to be in the NHL. So many people would want the gig I have, and I don't take it for granted. And I got signed here to be the number 3 guy a few years back, but I never stopped believing. I knew I could play at this level, and I got that opportunity, and it's been good so far.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. I think certainly since coming back from the Four Nations face-off, he's been the better of the 2 goaltenders. He's done well, playing a lot more than he really ever has since that 1 year in Colorado with Skinner being hurt. Stu Skinner might dress on Friday, not necessarily mean that he's going to play. So definitely a good story as Pickard for the Oilers to this point in the season. Do we talk about who starts game 1 of the playoffs or not yet?
No, we haven't. Well, I've alluded to it. But
I think it's still Skinner if he's healthy.
It depends. It depends on when Skinner comes back and is back in between the pipes and how that looks. But yeah, all things aside, if it's just, they're both playing ho-hum. Pickard has been playing pretty good. I don't think you could suggest, well, there's probably a few that would suggest that he's the issue and why they're losing or why they've lost. But I thought Calvin Pickard's been playing pretty consistent, actually.
I agree. I think, though, that as we've talked about, the Oilers organization sees Stuart Skinner as their number 1 goaltender. So I think if he comes back and gets in a couple games before the end of the season and is at least okay, he starts game 1. I think if he comes back from injury and is not good, then I think they would go another path. I think if he plays a couple okay or good games before the playoffs, he starts game 1. But they're probably ready to go to Pickard quicker than they were last year. That's what I think happens.
Okay, but if when the Sharks are in town on Friday and Stu Skinner's dressing, why isn't he starting then?
Well, maybe he will. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, if he's dressing, then he should be starting. Otherwise, I really don't know what you would be thinking. I think you have a general sense of what you have in Calvin Pickard right now. But I do think you're right in suggesting that it's somewhat still Stu Skinner's job to lose.
Yes, I think it is. And I realize some people won't like that, whether it's fair or not. But I think we're trying to tell you what the organization is thinking, not what we would do or what each individual fan would do. I think that's how they look at it. But I think it's still, what's crazy, Jay? So the playoffs are going to start next. Well, they've said next Saturday. That doesn't mean the Oilers are going to play. So the Oilers finish Saturday in San Jose.
Yes.
Despite what I've been saying about them dropping out of the playoffs, it's still most likely they start the series in LA this year, right? Now, LA plays next Thursday. So maybe the Oilers would start on the Sunday as opposed to the Saturday. So LA gets a couple of days off. So the playoffs. So let's say the Oilers have a playoff game in 11 days. It's very possible. It feels as if it's longer, it's further away than that. Maybe because they haven't clinched and maybe because there's so much lineup uncertainty between now and then. Like if they'd clinched on Monday and even got 2 of the 4 or 5 injured players back tonight, I think we'd be like, okay, let's get on with it. They're
Reid,
right there.
If they clinched on Monday, this is a nothing butter game. This is meaningless, right?
True. How worried are you about the seeding?
You're not.
Are they even worried about the seeding having not clinched yet?
Okay, here's the thing. I don't think there's that much general worry because of the 5 games left, you really, you got to for sure pick up 1 win, hopefully 2.
Yes.
And have some help from Calgary, which is quite likely. It's very likely. I think that the butts aren't puckered enough yet because of that.
Right.
I mean that. There's still time. There's still 5 games, Reid. What are you talking about? Now, okay, you lose tonight, and then, let's say even some of the lineup comes back and plays Friday against San Jose. What if they rattle off a win? Because they got nothing to lose.
Right.
They're playing footloose and fancy free. And, things could get a lot tighter here. That's why I think it's kind of like just like no, it's okay. Push it down the road. But things could get very serious in a matter of days here. If
the Oilers could soon be in a gotta have it. And then if you don't win a gotta have it, then you're in a must win.
Well, you might mix in a couple can't loses there. Like Friday against the Sharks is a can't lose.
Can't lose. Yes.
Yes.
Depending on what happens tonight.
I'm suggesting it'll probably be a can't lose.
It's quite possible the Oilers win the game tonight. Should they be favored? I don't think so.
They are not anymore.
They were this morning though, right? Until it was brought up that Nuge wasn't in.
Yeah, that took a minute for it to reflect in the odds.
Right.
But they are no longer the favorites.
Right. So, take that for what's worth. By the way, for the Blues, Holloway's out. Torrey Krug is out. Parayko is out. Alexander Texier is out as well. They are expected to go with Thomas between Buchnevich and Kyrou. That's a really good line. Braden Shen with Neighbors and Snuggerud. Sundqvist with Dvorsky and Bolduc. Faxa with Torpchenko and Walker. And then you have Broberg with Falk, Fowler with Leddy, Suter with Tucker, Bennington in net. Matthew Joseph and Matthew Kessel expected to be the scratches for the Blues tonight. The Oilers 11 forwards. I'll do in random order. Jones, Podkolzin, Philp, Kapanen, Arvidsson, Brown, Janmark, Henrique, Perry, Skinner, and Hyman. How's that random? I just went wherever my eyes took me. Wallman with Bouchard, Nurse with Stetcher, Kulak with Emberson, Pickard's the starter with Rodrigue the backup. I like if there's any game where I'm not going to worry too much about the line combinations, it's this one. Because I honestly think they're going to start and then Knobloch's going to be, all right, who looks good? Who looks like they might have a connection with each other? Let's go.
Yeah. Does Noah Philp go back down?
Oh, I never even thought about that. I'm not even thinking that far ahead. He might not now.
Why would he?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I guess if...
Bakersfield,
if they could
Bakersfield could use some guys.
Yeah,
I think.
they could use some guys. Okay, so Derek Ryan. Somebody asked, okay, so first of all, so according to what Knobloch said, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Frederick will all return before the end of the regular season.
Before the end of the regular season.
That's what he said, indicating they'll play at least one game each. So in that case, would you not send Philp down? Because I think Kapanen and Jones would come out as healthy scratches and Philp would go down. Are we still missing a forward? We're not talking about Kane yet because he's not supposed to play until the playoffs. So we'll consider that as the possibility. So maybe he does to get in some games. So Derek Ryan was assigned. Oh, then there's Nuge too. I forgot Nuge would come back. But there's also the empty space because they're playing with 11 tonight. So that would still be right. Who comes in for the guy that doesn't exist? Well, pick a player. All right. Derek Ryan was sent to Bakersfield, but from what I've been told, and I think Tom has referenced this as well, it did not go to Bakersfield. As far as we know, he's in Edmonton. I don't know if I guess a player can refuse an assignment. The Oilers have not announced anything or said anything roster related or contract related. So maybe there's an agreement with Derek Ryan saying, okay, we can't have you on the roster, but if you don't want to go to Baco and be away from your family, you can stay here. And then maybe you're a black ace in the playoffs. But that's what I know. He's not on the Oilers, but he's also not on the Condors. Though, well, in terms of paper, where is he? He's on the Condors.
Okay, but can then what you say come true, and he can then join the team as a black ace that
could call him up? Yeah, because things change in the playoffs, right? There's no salary cap. But it is okay. So let's piece this together. Strange
because out of the Oilers have not said anything regarding this. Bakersfield has not really said anything about this.
Well, we've confirmed that he's not there.
But publicly, it's not, well, this is a situation, this is what's happening.
No, it's not like sometimes, well, even with the Elks, sometimes a player leaves. Even sometimes a player has left because of a death in the family, and they put him on a suspended list, even though he's grieving, right, till he comes back.
Okay, so maybe there's an agreement in place or something that we don't know.
And Big Uke says that Tom alluded to that as well. So that it's like, okay.
But it is a weird situation.
Oh, it is strange. I have never heard of this before.
Is he on the payroll? Is he still getting his weekly check or game check? Why?
Well, that must be the agreement.
That is a strange agreement.
That might be a question for Stan Bowman at the end of the season or at some point. Did Goat Farmer win? Did anybody win?
Goat Farmer thinks he did.
We'll tell you if you won, everybody. If you
Trust me, I'm watching.
We appreciate your enthusiasm, but you don't have to text in your answer and then text Jay 10 times saying if you won.
He did. He was in the River Cree inbox. Nobody's got it.
Nobody's got it.
But it was that player you alluded to.
Yeah, I knew people would guess him.
Yeah, it's all
incorrectly. Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. Should we do clue number 3?
Sure. Hersey did ask, though, Reid. He says, have you guys picked a person to win the Masters?
Well, we're going to do a draft.
We're going to do a draft live
with Coob probably in 20 minutes.
What is it, 4 players each?
4 players each, and then it'll just go by total money won.
Total money's won.
So the winner usually gets the most. Well, the winner usually helps you with that. So
and prize TBD.
TBD, brah.
So we're deciding this with a die, right? We're rolling.
Well, we're going to do our order with the die.
Okay.
The order with the die.
100-sided die.
So whoever gets the highest roll picks first, but it's a snake draft order. So you'd pick 1st, 6th, 7th, and 12th.
Right. We're not so if you get the last pick, you get 3 and 4.
You get 3, 4, and 9, 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, brah. It's for fun, brah.
It's for fun, brah.
780-218-9999. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. Dustin says Stauffer has been hinting McDavid returns tonight. Well, I appreciate that. I no longer listen to Bob for obvious reasons. Some might say I didn't listen to Bob even when I worked with him.
Hey,
he would think it was funny if I said that. We'll see. That'd be nice if he keep. Well, I mean, Knobloch did say they'll be back before the playoffs, so that doesn't mean somebody couldn't return tonight, though there was some information that we had this morning that indicated that McDavid wouldn't play tonight. So we'll see. Things can change after morning skates or throughout the course of the day.
Why would you put McDavid back in with this lineup?
So they have 12 players.
I guess just for the 12th. I mean, it at this point, though, really, against the Blues.
That's pretty, I don't know if we've ever talked about, we've talked about, why are the Oilers dressing this guy? He's not very good. It's like, well, they got to dress 12 forwards. Now we're saying, why are the Oilers activating this guy? Just so they have 12 forwards. So that's a pretty good guy to get back.
Forgive me for, just simply forgetting that they only dressed 11 forwards tonight and last game.
Yeah, it was getting to be a regular thing. Keep giving us the thumbs up, by the way, if you're on YouTube. We're coming up to the halfway point of the show. Lots of people in the YouTube stream, so click away. I implore you, let's get to 100 by the bottom of the hour, and then we'll keep building from there. A little more on the Oilers, lots more on the Oilers, quite frankly. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting. We'll have some fun with our Masters draft. Murray McCourt will visit us from Augusta. Here comes the Coop.
Edmonton's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is doubtful for the Oilers with an illness as they play the Blues tonight, and the Oilers can clinch a playoff spot if the Flames lose in regulation to the Ducks and if Edmonton gets a win in any fashion over St. Louis. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas preview the matchup during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Live right here on EST at 7 o'clock. And there's 4 other games around the league. Lightning and Maple Leafs face off. Minnesota injects Kirill Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson-Ek back to their lineup. They host San Jose. And the Elks have signed 4 new Americans, wide receivers Jacob Copeland and CJ Hutton, while agreeing to terms with Braxton Clark and Kalen Barnes, 2 defensive backs. In the MLB, Jays and Red Sox rematch. Jays looking for 3 straight over Boston after they won 6-1 yesterday, and in the bottom of the 7th right now. Seattle trails Houston 4-0. The Reds and Giants are tied at 6 apiece in the bottom of the 9th, while the Dodgers lead the Nationals 6-5 in the top of the 8th. And there's 10 games in the NBA, including the Raptors and Hornets tipping off. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. Reid Wilkins and Jay Milne continue the show once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish. And you're up to date.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries. All at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Oh, yeah. Jay, what was the guy's name again from Midnight Oil, the lead singer? We're going to have to recreate that video someday.
Just the 5 seconds
Just
of it
the
that
5
really
seconds
matter.
of him dancing.
Yeah.
All right. Keep clicking away at the thumb. If you're on the YouTube stream, if you're getting us through iHeartRadio, if you're getting us through TuneIn Radio, we appreciate you checking out the stream there as well. I ran into somebody at the event last night at the Bell in Scona, the Kids Sport Bids for Kids events, which was a big success, asking me, it was somebody I'd had on my show while I was at Ched, asking me, so what, you're doing a podcast now? And I said, well, you can get it as a podcast, but we are live. And he's like, I don't understand how you can be live and you're not on the radio. I said, well, it's through a stream. It's through an audio stream. You go on this app, and I was showing him iHeartRadio, and he's like, oh, so this is where all the podcasts are. I said, no, this is where Ched is on there as well, but so are we. This is how people, and his daughter was there, and she was saying, Reid, I know exactly what you mean. I'll explain it to him later. We do everything. We are basically a radio station.
Yes.
You just don't consume us using just your clock radio by your bed.
Omit
you
the
can
dial.
use your phone by your bed.
Yes, which
Right.
everybody has now.
So you got to help us out, everybody. Help spread the word.
Did you have on your bingo card for today's show Gorilla Monsoon being named in the chat?
Why is he being named?
I think they're talking about like ethnic restaurants. And there's one called Monsoon, I believe. And somebody, a Bootski or Bronco Nick said, Gorilla Monsoon? Remember how good of an announcer he was? And what a name.
That's amazing.
Strange your parents would name somebody Gorilla.
Got a limerick here from the Big Uke. Saw the Big Uke last night.
Well, amongst others,
couple
VR.
Big Uke, yeah, VR Montenegro
Dash
was there.
and the Hello Hockey crew.
Yeah, Dash was there. Yeah, a couple
Atif
other
was there.
heavy hockey guys.
Or heavy hockey, sorry.
Atif was there. Kavis Reed was there. We're trying to remember and we're missing people. People were there.
People were there.
All right. Here's the limerick from the Big Uke, who took a couple days off. Excellent event raising money last night. Hot stove was great. Those Fords were all right. Oilers all hurt. Maybe rub dirt. The temperatures in the office give Jay a fright.
Oh, yeah,
pretty good. Big Uke with some good stuff. 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Thanks a lot for checking out the show today or whatever other day you want to check it out. Jasmine says Reid's birthday celebration clearly carried on last night. Jasmine just needling me. Poke, poke, poke away. Forget about clicking.
Poke, poke, poke. Must you poke? Jasmine does. Jasmine does. Mean Jasmine. Mean Jasmine. Poke, poke, poke.
She hasn't given us her menu, by the way.
Yeah, she did.
Well, where?
Just bottle service, bro.
Oh, she did. She just gets bottle service.
Yeah.
She just has bottle service at the Masters Champions dinner.
she said it earlier. Naan, curries, chicken, goat, and samosas.
Oh, cool. Okay. Sorry, Jasmine, I missed that. Not that I was ignoring you. Oh, Coop thought that was funny. All right. Let's do buying or selling. It's presented by our buddy
clue
Damon
number
Bunting.
3, dog.
Oh, clue number 3 first. Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Remember, maximum of 3 guesses. It sounds like some people might be getting to their third. So you got to make this one count.
Yeah.
Jay will ignore your guess after number 4 onward, even if you're right. Text only, 780-218-9999. Clue number 3 is Flyers. So the clues are 3 Stanley Cups.
Can you spell Flyers?
F-L-Y-E-R-S.
Thank you.
Yeah, F-L-Y-E-R-S. Is that the first word of the day? I hope not. That's shockingly easy. One who flies, Jay. 3 Stanley Cups, Blues, and Flyers are the hints. Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. We're giving away a $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. Sound fair?
Fair.
Okay. Let's do buying or selling. It's presented by our buddy Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. So, like buying or selling, that the Oilers are perhaps, like let's assume, and Knobloch has referenced this. I don't know if he's gone name by name, but he has said some of these guys would play if it's the playoffs. So buying or selling is that the Oilers are cutting it a little too close, though, by saying, you know what, we're going to get in. We're going to get in. We won't rush these guys. And somebody put in the nasty chat that Stoff is hinting, and I can hear Stoff doing this because I worked with the guy for 12 years. So we'll see. Again, the information we had this morning was that there was going to be no McDavid. But buying or selling, that the Oilers are, like, if they need points to clinch, like, why not clinch and then say, okay, take the last 3 games of the regular season off? Why say, okay, let's try to clinch without our good players, and then if we're still desperate for points, then you'll play the last 2 games and try to get us 2 wins? Like, buying or selling that they're almost procrastinating.
Yeah, this is a conundrum because Nugent-Hopkins is sick. You can't really do much about that, right?
Fair enough, yeah.
Ekholm, nobody really knows what's going on here.
Right.
And the longer this goes on, the more speculation there will be as to what is exactly ailing Mattias Ekholm. Trent Frederick, I would...
high ankle sprain.
High ankle sprain. You want him to rest till playoffs. Evander Kane, obviously, we know the situation there. Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid. If those 2 could play, then they should be dressing tonight. Take care of business. Now, 2 wins and you're in. Tonight and Friday. Wrap it up like a bow tie and sit them out. So I'm starting to wonder if that is the case, Reid. Are they good to go if this was a must-win game?
Right.
How can you say that is the case? And I know it's not you saying it, but that is the general consensus and thought based off of what Coach Knobloch has said in recent scrums. Is that, no, if this was a playoff game, these guys, and he said that about Ekholm too. So, I don't know. McDavid and Draisaitl have been skating. Well, actually, yeah. Ekholm has not.
No. Well, Ekholm we know wasn't on the road trip because they said that, and I saw him when I was out for dinner last week.
Right. Skinner.
Sounds like Stuart Skinner's very close. But again, the issue here is not an injured goaltender. The issue is injured top offensive players.
100%.
If Pickard has a goals against average of 4.5 in the 4 or 5 games he played, then we'd say, okay, that's an issue. But he's actually been fine. It's just they can't score. I'd go so far to say they probably beat Anaheim with McDavid and Draisaitl in the lineup. And I know Dostal has played well against McDavid and Draisaitl in the past, but the power play is probably not 0 for 6 and looking incompetent. And who knows? Maybe even LA, you tie it and get into overtime with those two guys in the lineup. You never know.
So tonight is the most important game of the season for the Oilers. It is, because they have yet to clinch. You know what I see on the standings page here?
What?
You know what I see, Reid? A little X. A little X beside the Ottawa Senators, because they took care of business last night and they clinched their spot in this.
Even though they lost. Even though they lost.
Well, sorry.
They got help, but they clinched, yeah.
The Oilers are not in that situation.
How about the Canadians adding that Russian kid?
Wow. Did you see the highlight reel from him?
I saw some of
Coop, did you play that anywhere?
Yeah, he's going to jump right in and play, apparently. Laser Punch Shark. That is a great handle in the Nasty Chat. Do Bowman and Jackson lose their jobs if the Oilers miss the playoffs? I doubt it, but I think it might put them on a very shorter leash for next year. Let's just tone down the horniness for everybody to get fired. I'm still saying let's see what happens. Clearly there have been some moves in season. And we talked about this yesterday because we were talking about the Frederick move, and I said, well, actually, I thought Klingberg was the far more riskier move, right? Of all the ones they've made during the season. But no, I doubt that there'd be a house cleaning if they miss the playoffs. I think, and also you have to remember this. Jackson is above Bowman, right? So Jackson did the stuff on free agency, and then he hired Bowman. So I don't know if he would say, well, after 1 year, sorry, buddy, you're gone. And some of the stuff that you're getting blamed for, I theoretically could have taken care of myself before you got here. So I don't see that happening. Another poor year, then maybe you look at something like that, depending on how it goes. But I don't think that they would fire anybody if they miss the playoffs. And I still don't think they're going to miss the playoffs, quite frankly. I just think it's more possible than some people think.
And what is that? What would this honestly? What would that solve?
Well, you'd have a different GM.
I know, but okay, so you move on from Klingberg. Maybe you just don't. It would hurt in the Frederick situation if he does not play any of this regular season.
Yes.
And let's say he has a mediocre to not so great playoffs, and you can't even extend it or re-sign him.
Right.
That would hurt. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't see a massive house cleaning. Bootsy says, Reid, let's tone down the horniness. Quote of the year. I said, let's tone down the horniness on firing everybody. I didn't just come on air and say, let's tone down the horniness. I appreciate that Abutsky is paying attention, though. That's flattering. All right. By the way, we are coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Well, according to Jasmine, I'm celebrating my birthday 12 months of the year. Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. Our off-topic topic. Oh, yeah, keep clicking the thumbs up. We're on the verge of 100. We want to get to 100 in the next 3 minutes. So get in there and click, and then we'll worry about building from there. Our off-topic topic for William Huff. What would your champions dinner be at the Masters? What would your champions dinner be at the Masters?
Got a couple that they keep trickling in here, Reid. Van Owen, bone-in prime rib roast, charcoal baked russet potatoes. I'd like to have specific Van Owen is. Yorkshire pudding, gravy, green beans with butter and bacon, and my mom's raspberry dessert.
Sounds pretty good.
Rob from LA, pierogies, that would be the appetizer. Caesar salad. Maine would be Alberta ribeye with green peppercorn sauce and lobster mashed. Oof. Dessert, chocolate cheesecake. I like. Collingwood Rob starter would be a Caesar salad with freshly shaved Parmesan cheese. I like that.
Oh, wow.
With a hint of horseradish and capers. Yeah. Maine would be Alberta.
How's the dinner, Mr. Stanley?
Alberta AAA prime rib 10-ounce steak, Cajun butter shrimp, Cajun buttered corn on the cob, and whipped big potato with the fixins. Dessert, pumpkin pie with vanilla ice cream and fresh whipped cream. Finished with a lovely medium roast coffee.
This has been a great topic.
Yeah.
This has been a great topic.
Keep them
We're going
coming.
to be saving some of these for dinners we can just make on our own.
Oh, I'm hungry.
That is
but yet all I desire is ripple chips and onion dip.
Let's go, girls.
All right. We're going to have some clips still coming up from Zach Hyman and another comment from Chris Knobloch. Oilers and Blues tonight at Rogers Place. Puck drop is set for 8:22. We'll have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 here on Edmonton Sports Talk with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Masters this week. Murray McCourt is in Augusta. He's going to tell us what the scene is like there. And we're going to do a fun Masters draft. Jay and the Coob and me when we get back.
The Oilers might have to dress 11 forwards and 6 defensemen as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is doubtful with an illness against the Blues. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas go live at 7 as they tee up the action right here on EST. Around the league, Calgary visits Anaheim. Flyers and Rangers face off while Tampa Bay hosts Toronto on a 4-game slate. Meanwhile, the Elks have signed a pair of receivers and defensive backs. Receivers Jacob Copeland and CJ Hunton, with Kalen Barnes and Braxton Clark being the defensive backs. After winning 6-1 over Boston last night, Toronto eyes 3 straight wins over the Red Sox. They're warming up right now, and with 3 games underway, Dodgers up 6-5 on the Nationals. It's in the top of the 9th inning, while it's the Astros winning 5-0 over the Mariners in the bottom of the 8th inning. On the court, the Raptors get back in action. They battle the Hornets, having 10 games around the association. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or call them at 780-467-5014. Once we get back from the break, Reid, Jay, and myself have a Masters draft. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
All right, thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. We are in the banquet studio. Oilers game tonight, 8:22 will be the puck drop. You can have supper and have a nap and get up and still be probably half an hour before the game starts. I mean, you could do that. I'm not saying you have to. Calvin Pickard is the Oilers nominee for the Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy. He's the expected starter for the Oilers tonight. Nugent-Hopkins ill. He is doubtful. Chris Knobloch on playing without a lot of their big names.
Oh, it's very challenging, but a lot of credit to the guys. I think they've been playing extremely hard. I think what we're missing is just the execution on finishing plays. We certainly had enough scoring chances to have more than 2 goals against Anaheim. But a lot of credit for the guys that have been playing hard in the right way. We got to continue to do that each and every night to give us any opportunity to win. And that goes forward into playoffs when we do have these guys back in the lineup, that we have to play the right way.
Well, I mean, it's an obvious point that he's making, but there are certain fundamental things you have to do in hockey regardless of who is in the lineup. I do think, probably except for the Seattle game, the Oilers have been doing those things.
Yeah, I mean, they're just shorthanded.
They don't. You miss pizzazz without those 2 guys.
Without those 2 guys, I mean,
and not having it, and now Nuge. I mean, but especially McDavid and Draisaitl. You miss those. Okay, here's what you miss. You miss the goals where after the goal is scored, you're saying to yourself or the person you're watching the game with, where you say, oh, man, I had no idea that was going to be a scoring chance. Or that looked like a nothing play, and a second and a half later, it's in the net. You know, there's nothing wrong with the goals they score, but it's kind of like, I mentioned to you this morning, I liked that Wallman goal the other night. I mean, I think Anaheim made a mistake. The Oilers got a chance in front. He got cleared to the boards. It came back to Wallman. I think Dostal was still trying to get up. There's players in front, and he just shot. Didn't look, just, I'm going to put this back in a tough area because Anaheim's under stress here. I like that play. That's a simple hockey play. It's also a smart play. It's not like Wallman thinking, oh, I'm going to make a fancy pass and we're going to get a backdoor tap in, right? It's like, no, they're messed up. They gave up the puck. Throw it on the net. It goes in. But with David Draisaitl, you miss those chances where, oh, man, I didn't think that guy was open. And McDavid got him the puck. Or the Draisaitl one-timer where it's like, oh, man, his feet were below the icing line and he still put it in under the crossbar. That's what you miss without those guys. And that's why skill is the hardest thing to get in the NHL, and that's why those guys get paid.
Well, you know what you miss? You miss, prior to the puck dropping, you miss the opportunity to have the other team thinking of, oh, McDavid, Draisaitl, Ekholm, Nuge. When they're not having to worry about any of those players, it's a totally different game coming into this for the St. Louis Blues tonight.
Right.
Knowing how shorthanded the Oilers are.
Lingus says, has any other team had to play without a full roster? They have. I don't. It doesn't. He says doesn't happen frequently. It does not happen frequently. It does happen. I think somebody else did it. It has happened this year. I can't remember who it was. It occasionally happens, but yeah, clearly it doesn't happen that frequently. We've hit 100 thumbs, so let's keep building from there. We want to get up to 100 and by the end of the show. Meanwhile, the guy who I think is the Oilers' best possibility to score a goal tonight, Zach Hyman, commenting on playing without the big guns.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're managing as best we can. Obviously, we don't have the same offensive flair, but you can only control. You can control. I think we're going out there. We're working hard. We're giving ourselves a chance at every game. I think goalies have been good, and we're doing our best. Obviously, we're missing a punch, not just one, but a number of players that are key parts of the team.
Yes, that's very true. Anybody win Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game?
Nope.
We'll try. Remember to give the fourth clue before the 5 o'clock break. Has anybody used up all 3 guesses? Probably have. The 3 clues are 3 Stanley Cups, Blues, and Flyers. That's what we have so far.
Beaumont Dusty put in the nasty chat. And I know you're not a fan of this, but I must address it.
Okay.
Someone guessed Terry Crisp or Rick Tocchet because I'm out of guesses.
Well, that's kind of him.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Make our day.
Make my day.
Go ahead. Make my day.
That's kind of him, though, that he thinks he's figured it out and he's giving the right answers to other people.
It's nice. I wouldn't take Beaumont Dusty's advice on this.
Fair enough.
Just saying, bro.
Yeah. 3 Stanley Cups, Blues, and Flyers are the hints.
Let's draft.
All right, we're gonna have some fun here. So if you're on YouTube, you can see what I'm holding up. If you're driving around, I'm holding up a D100. Now, I realize probably a large segment of the audience is saying, speak English, Reid. Don't give us a mathematical formula. I'm not. A D100 is a 100-sided die. If you still don't believe that this exists, when you get home tonight, take your loved ones, gather around the old computer, Google D100, and you'll see what a 100-sided die looks like. It is quite spherical, but as I'm touching it here, you can feel the little ridges between the sides. It doesn't roll very well, so I'll have to stop it in case it rolls off the table.
Highest number gets to choose first, correct?
Gets to choose first. We're not going to... So I'll roll Coob's number. If we'll go alphabetically by last name, Coob, I'll roll for you first, okay? So Coob is getting a 9. He will probably not pick first. Sorry, Coob.
You never know.
Jay Milne has got a 23.
What a sham.
And me, as I roll the final time, I get a 12.
Oh, my God.
All right, so Jay will pick first, I will pick second, and then Coob will pick third, and then you'll also pick fourth, Coob. We'll do a snake draft order. As Spency 5 Sensi has put in his Masters Champions Dinner, the off-topic topic for William Huff, poutine, coleslaw, fried chicken, bison burgers, and Nanaimo bars for dessert. Solid.
Nanaimo bars.
So the way we'll do this is we're each going to have 4 players. The winner, we'll announce the winner on Monday. We don't know where you're going to win, if anything. Just mutual respect, perhaps.
Yes.
What, did you win a lot of money for that pool? No, I got something even more valuable. The respect of my colleagues. So just most money won. So we're not going to worry about the score. So if somebody misses the cut, it's just $0, right?
Right.
So Jay Milne has the first overall pick in our Masters draft.
Scotty Scheffler.
Imagine that. I will go with, because I like this guy. He's won a couple majors, and I think he's going to get the Masters eventually. I'll go with Colin Morikawa.
Ooh, back-to-back picks. See, this is where it gets hard. I'm gonna go with Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay.
I like that. And I am going to pick Rory McIlroy.
Good player.
Good picks.
All right. I'm going to go with guys who are good, but I also kind of like watching too. I'm going to go Zalatoris.
Ooh.
Fun name to say. And like, have you seen how thin he is? He's like 6'1", like 155 pounds or something.
Happy Gilmore's caddy.
He was?
Yeah. Well, he looks exactly like.
Oh, does he look? I
think so.
I don't remember. Okay, so now 2 for you, Jay. Because he gets the end of the second round and the start of the third, right? Yeah.
Well, John Rahm's staring me right in the face, so I'm going to take him.
Right.
And then I did do this with our pool with Maddie. I'm going to follow that up with Shane Lowry.
Wow. Okay. I'll go Canadian angle. I'll take Corey Connors.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. I'm sneaky, eh?
So that'd be me next?
Yeah, your final 2 picks, Coop.
Oof.
Make him count.
Xander Schauffele still on the table?
Yeah, good player.
I will take him and where do I go?
Good player. Terrible pick.
Okay, I'm going to take the Canadian angle. Taylor Pendrith.
Another Canadian. All right. For my final pick, they got to make this one count. You know what? I'm going to go with Ludwig Oberg or Aberg, however you say his name.
Yeah.
From Sweden.
I'm just kidding, Coop. Schauffele wasn't a terrible.
He's very good.
I kind of wanted him.
All right, you get the final pick, Jason Milne. But this draft went incredibly quick. We've barely been at it for a minute. So,
Neiman.
Which one?
I think it's
Neiman.
No,
Neiman, or like it's
Neiman?
Is it Niemann or something?
Yeah.
All right. Jasmine's broken foot thinks Lowry's a great pick. He thinks somebody should have taken Sepp. It's Sepp Straka, right? Isn't that his first name? So Jay gets Scheffler, Rahm, Lowry, and Neiman. I get Morikawa, Zalatoris, Connors, and Aberg. And the Coob gets DeChambeau, McIlroy, Schauffele, and Pendrith.
Okay, I'll send the picks out to the group chat.
Spieth not selected. Koepka not selected.
Jordan Spieth.
Who else? Matsuyama, who's won the thing, not selected. Nobody took Fred Couples. If this was like a 20-player draft, I would have taken Fred Couples.
Well, he usually does. He does.
Angel Cabrera. I love Angel Cabrera too. He won this tournament before. He won another. Won the U.S. Open, won the Masters, and then I think he lost the Masters in the playoff to Adam Scott that one year.
I believe it's Angel.
Nobody took Patrick. You know my mom hates Patrick Reid, right? Oh, I told you that?
No, why? Because he cheats?
Well, yeah, and apparently he might have taken money from his teammates at university.
Looks like a knob. He looks like somebody that's easy to dislike.
So there was that book from a few years ago called Slaying the Tiger, and it was, I think, one of the years Woods didn't play or hardly played. Who wrote it? Who was the author? Was it Shane Ryan? I think I interviewed him. And he wrote, about other players on the tour and guys who were up and coming and who grew up watching Tiger and were trying to now be the guy. And Patrick Reid had not yet won the Masters, I don't think, when this book came out, but there was a chapter about him. And yeah, he was accused, I think, of taking money out of teammates' locker room stalls when he was at university. And then he had some sort of falling out with his parents. Those parents claim, we don't know what happened. I think they blame his wife for it. But he went so far as to put his parents on a do not admit list to his tournaments. Do not let these people onto the grounds. And that did not sit well with my mom. So when he won the Masters, she was not pleased. That sullied the green jacket.
I don't think anybody was pleased, to be honest. He's just a disliked guy.
He's just a punchable face guy.
He is a punchable face guy, and he's kind of a dick. So that's probably why people don't like him. Reid, I have to say something. Somebody in the River Cree inbox has guessed the mystery athlete of the game.
Good.
However, it was this person. This person had already guessed 3.
Then they don't win.
They don't win. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but there is a correct guess out there. I won't even say who it is, so they can't muddy the waters.
No,
in the nasty
we can't. No, we have rules for a reason because
keep it above board.
We don't want spam guessing. And
you'll know who you are.
Now we know that Jay will check. Well, we know that Jay will check. Now you know Jay looks.
I look hot because it's hot in here.
Yeah, would you want the fan back on you?
Nah, I'm doing all right.
Keep clicking the thumbs up. We've soared past 100. The next plateau, 130. We should be able to get there quite soon if everybody just
Murray McCourt's going to join us live from the Masters.
We got Murray McCourt live from Augusta at 5:30. I think we have a very weird fired up. I don't know if I'm totally involved in this one. We did our Masters draft. Calvin Pickard, by the way, the Oilers nominee for the Bill Masterson Memorial Trophy.
Yeah, every day I'm excited to come to the rink. I'm proud to be in the NHL. So many people would want the gig I have, and I don't take it for granted. And I got signed here to be the number 3 guy a few years back, but I never stopped believing. I knew I could play at this level, and I got that opportunity, and it's been good so far.
All right, and he is the expected starter tonight as the Oilers host the still very hot St. Louis Blues, even though they lost their last game, though they're without one of their best players tonight. You know who that is? Dylan Holloway. And they haven't had Parayko for a while. He's still not back. But still a very good team. They've done great since Jim Montgomery took over as head coach. He's really had them going in the right direction. Oh, by the way, remember when I was kind of mocking the Thanksgiving cutoff for who makes the playoffs? And I said, I'm just going to keep the standings from January 31st and see who makes the playoffs. So the Oilers and Blues both come into tonight's game with 93 points. Though the Oilers have a couple of games in hand, but still they both have 93, right? On January 31st, the Edmonton Oilers had 18 more points than the St. Louis Blues. They now have the same amount. Also on that day, the Oilers were 10 points ahead of Los Angeles. And now how far behind LA are they?
Jeez.
Is it 4 or 5? I don't even know what it is anymore.
Yeah, they're 4.
4 back. On January 31st, the Montreal Canadiens were 4 points out of a playoff spot. Boston was 1 point out. Are they now last in the East?
Wow. Second last. Philly's last.
Oh, they've passed Philly. Okay. Winnipeg was 10 points ahead of Dallas on January 31st. What is it now? 4?
4. How the turns have tabled.
How the worm has turned. By the way, we got to touch that comeback by the Canucks last night.
History.
Scored thrice in the final minute of the they scored with exactly a minute left, and then 30 seconds and 7 seconds. Like, that's stunning.
It's almost unbelievable.
It almost is unbelievable. So Dallas got an empty netter to go up 5-2. It's like, okay, three goal lead, game over. And then Vancouver comes back and then wins the game in overtime to keep they're still mathematically alive for the playoffs. Do you think that damages Dallas?
Well, that's the question. And by the way, that is the first time in NHL history a team has overcome a 3-goal deficit in the final minute.
Right.
Of regular to go on and win. Here's the thing. Put the shoe on the other foot. Let's say Edmonton was playing Vancouver. And Edmonton is, because Dallas is still trying to track down Winnipeg. Like we just said, they're 4 points back. That was a big game for Dallas.
Right.
A team that I'm sure most Dallas fans think, hey, this team can win the cup. Well, when you have that sort of a breakdown that late in the game, what is talk radio in Dallas today? Can you imagine?
Well, probably Cowboys' offensive line or Texas Rangers. But no, I know what you're saying.
Can you imagine if that happened
They were talking about it on Pardon the Interruption.
Yeah.
I guess the closest thing I would have to that is Game 5 against Anaheim in 2017. The Oilers were up 3-0, I think with 4 minutes left in the third. Anaheim tied at 3-3, eventually won in double overtime. That was Kessler pulling Talbot's pad and all that kind of stuff. Now, the Oilers then won the next game in that series 7-1, though they didn't win the series. So I don't think it destroys a team, but we'll see. Maybe it plants some doubt.
Or it might actually help them to say, look,
don't screw around.
Don't do that. Put the foot down and don't let up. Because Vancouver hemmed them in. I mean, but that also gives you a little bit of an idea into the emotional differences and changes that go through a game.
Oh, for sure.
And the complexities of the control, the power of your mind to say, because I still think Vancouver, they didn't even celebrate that 5-3 goal. Then they got the 5-4 goal, and they immediately looked at the clock and said,
good.
Okay, we can do this.
That's a good point.
Right? It just changes the dynamic of the game.
Got a limerick here from RC and Ladner. Okay, hang on. I got to get ready for this one because he gave me stage directions, believe it or not. A thin lineup set on this fine spring day. An abundance of talent paying rent in sick bay. An oil wind may render another Reid Wilkins bender. David Lee Roth, take it away.
Whoa! Whoa!
That is very, very good work from RC and Ladner, who I don't think has sent in a limerick before. That's pretty cool.
RC has been in the nasty chat. He's been in the River Cree inbox. Bonus points for having direction.
Yes.
And using the sound effects that are clearly at Reid's disposal.
Very good. Fourth, I always feel like that starts as if it's the start of the crowd yelling out forward. Yeah.
Forward.
Yeah, exactly. All right, the fourth clue in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. Coop, thanks for hanging tight. I know we're late into the break. What's going to happen? Bob Layton's going to pull me aside? You know, Reid, the breaks are at 5 o'clock for a reason. We have news there. Yeah.
I'm Bob Layton.
Not on Edmonton Sports Talk, Bob.
I didn't have that on my bingo card either.
Yeah. We should have a Reid Wilkins Show bingo card.
We should.
Def Leppard reference would be the free space in the middle.
Yes, has to be.
All right, the fourth clue in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game is 4 Stanley Cups. So the clues are 3 Stanley Cups, Blues, Flyers, and 4 Stanley Cups. Isn't that a bit of a fly in the ointment? We got our game of the night, Murray McCourt from Augusta. Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
The EST Hangout.
This fan base in the playoffs is electric, and it is almost impossible to be like, I'm sleepy, and walk out on the ice, hear that fan base going absolutely berserk. There's no way that if you have even a resemblance of competitive spirit, that you're not just instantly like, okay, I'm better.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to Win Fridays at the Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
It's a big showdown in the West. The Oilers and Blues face off as both teams fight to clinch for a playoff spot. Edmonton's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is doubtful with an illness, which might force the Oilers to play a second straight game short a forward, dressing 11 forwards and 6 defensemen. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas preview the action as they go live at 7 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on EST. And from Anaheim, the Flames and Ducks go at it. And with the Flames a regulation loss and the Oilers beating the Blues tonight, Edmonton will clinch a playoff spot. 4 other games on tap. Rangers and Flyers drop the puck. Toronto and Tampa Bay clash, while the Sharks meet the Wild. Kirill Kaprizov returning for Minnesota. Meanwhile, the Elks have signed a pair of receivers and defensive backs. Receivers Jacob Copeland and CJ Hutton, while agreeing to terms with Kalen Barnes and Braxton Clark. In baseball, the Jays and Red Sox are tied at 1 in the bottom of the first. 3 other games are live, including Seattle trailing Houston 6-4 in the top of the 9th inning. On the court, the Raptors get back in action. They battle the Hornets 10 games around the association. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Welcome to the Red Shoe Podcast, where we break down some of the best moments from the Red Shoe Diaries television show. So that music reminds me of Duchovny, eh? The young Duchovny was in the Red Shoe Diaries. Who had a Red Shoe Diary reference on their bingo card for the show?
It's a show about bingo
This
cards.
is the only show that would mention Bob Layton and David Duchovny within minutes of each other.
Potato Salad Jesse in the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Jay, it was not the first time in history that a team has overcome a 3-goal deficit.
In the final minute of the third period.
Yeah.
What's the other one? Everything I've said, everything I saw, that's what it said.
Me too. This one apparently from October. Well, this is the I guess the box score from October 14th, 1995. Dallas 6, Boston 5. Dallas scored 3 goals in the final minute. So they were down. No, but
what?
They would have been down 5-3.
Right. So they won in regulation.
They won it. That's what we were missing is in regulation. Because they went. Vancouver scored.
Right. This is scoring 3 goals to tie in the final minute of regulation.
That's right. I misspoke on that then.
Okay.
But yes, that we were directionally correct. This one they came back in regulation and won.
So they scored 3 goals in the final minute to erase a 2-goal deficit.
Correct.
This is scoring 3 goals in the final minute to erase a 3-goal deficit. Right?
Let's go, girls.
All right, so that's the so that's not this. That's not the same thing. That's not what Vancouver accomplished last night, though that was pretty impressive, nonetheless. Okay, we are in the banquet studio. Strike up some fun at the banquet bar. Bowling, drinks, at a great time with friends. Get real, play hard at the banquet. Mondays at the banquet. Bowl for just $2 all day. Man, we would have to try that, Jay.
Oh, we've been talking about it. Think we could
talk about going bowling?
Think we could do that there?
Using some of our own props. We got a winner. Okay. This was a good one today. The Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Day. Who is the winner?
Pizza Boy.
Pizza Boy is the winner. The first clue, 3 Stanley Cups. This person won 3 Stanley Cups as a player. Second clue, Blues. This person played for the St. Louis Blues, also coached them. Third clue, Flyers. This person played for the Edmonton Flyers in the mid-1950s. 4 Stanley Cups. This person won 4 Stanley Cups as a head coach. So that's why Stanley Cups was in the clues twice. 3 as a player, 4 as a coach. Final clue, Islanders. That's who he coached to 4 Stanley Cups. Who is it, Coop?
Mr. Al Arbor.
Thank you, Coop. Pretty good.
Well done. We got a limerick that came in, Reid, from Paulie Deuce. I like this. This is to the point. Paulie Deuce ain't screwing around, Reid.
Okay.
In Edmonton, the Oilers prepare, with injuries giving a scare. Facing Blues on home ice, they'll need to suffice for victories still in the air.
It's pretty good. We got some good limericks.
It's coming
I
on.
love you guys for sending those in. That's awesome. Oilers and Blues, 8:22 is the official face-off time. We will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 7 with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. So the Oilers clinch a playoff spot if they win and Calgary loses in regulation time to Anaheim. That's the exact formula for the Oilers. The Oilers just need to win, can be in overtime or a shootout, and then if the Flames don't get a point, basically, against the Ducks, the Oilers have locked up a playoff spot. If not, they'll have to keep plugging away. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, doubtful for tonight. Noah Philp expected to play. He's an emergency call-up. I know somebody put in there that Bob Stauffer was hinting at McDavid playing. I don't know anything about that, so we'll just have to see. Could very well, once again, that the Oilers play with 11 forwards, with Calvin Pickard in net, opposing Jordan Binnington at the other end of the rink. Our game of the night is presented by Play More Tables and Games.
Play more tables and games.
From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for, visit Canada's Game Room Experts, locations in Edmonton and Calgary, or online at playmoregames.ca.
Play more tables and games.
I don't know. That really makes me laugh every time.
Dungeons and Dragons.
That also makes me laugh every time. Because Tom Gazzola is the last person who would ever play
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. He told me that, because I was like, dude, you should come to my house. We have another mutual friend, not somebody who works at the station. I was like, we should play a game. I'll never play a game with you, Reid. I'm like, oh, okay, buddy. Like, settle down.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
He's like, my buddies invited me over for a game, and it was like some weird thing that was like a 3-hour setup, and then we played for 5 hours, and it was bored. I'm like, Tom, I wouldn't play that type of a game with you. I'd play something that I was pretty sure you'd enjoy. You'd enjoy my company. Our other friend would be there. We'd all be enjoying each other's company, hanging out. No, I'm not playing with you. Okay, Tom.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Don't blame me when you're old and lonely, Tom Gazzola.
We'll have to get Tommy Boy to voice over another dunk for old Riedrich.
Oh, when he pretended he was me?
Yes, that was
pretty funny. We got a good audience on YouTube, and I believe on the streams as well. Thanks for checking out the show. Hope you're enjoying it. We love doing the show every day from 3 to 6 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're if you're on the YouTube feed, click the thumb up. Click the little thumb. Don't delay. We're in the final hour of the show. So click away. No reason we can't get to 155. What's up, Coop?
Must you click?
Oh.
Thumb. Please click. Thumb.
Pizza Boy says in the nasty chat, EST has me eating well. I think I have 3 or 4 gift cards to pick up now. I believe that's his first win in Mystery Athlete of the Day, though. He must have won other stuff on other shows.
Hard to say. Coob, if you wouldn't mind reaching out to Pizza Boy and putting that one in so he can collect.
Pizza boy, he's bringing the pizza today.
What are you watching? I know what I'm watching. Obviously the Oilers game.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's too easy. But you're going to be flicking the old channel changer.
Click. Speaking of
click,
clicking,
click.
Get the clicker. Do kids still call the remote control the clicker? I remember my uncle, like this would have been early 80s, had this remote, and it was these metal buttons that protruded out of and they were kind of on an angle, right? Like the top of them was on an angle, and you pushed it all the way down.
And it stayed.
It popped up.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it would stay, but depending on what you were doing.
The ones on the TV would stay.
Oh, no, this was on a remote. This was on a remote.
Oh, wow.
And that's how you would change the channel. It was it was a little more elaborate. And now these new remotes,
everything's
By the
flat.
way, that new TV that my parents got, remember I talked about that about
Soundbar.
8 or 9 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Because the soundbar broke, so they had to get a new TV. It wasn't compatible with the soundbar. The TV sucks.
Oh, no.
Like, it keeps kicking them off. The
Return
YouTube,
it.
we might have to. I don't know if it's still within the time frame. I think it probably is.
You get Louise showing up there with the TV on her own.
Oh, I just bought this TV and I just want to watch my son and his friend.
Throw in a couple subtle just really wrap it up. Yeah. Well, I wonder what the late start in Edmonton, as you alluded to, Reid, it's an 8:22 puck drop expected. I wonder what the puck drop is as Calgary takes on Anaheim in Anaheim. If, you could really dive into the scoreboard watching there.
Somebody's disputing the mystery athlete of the day.
Oh, this is a first.
I don't have him as 4 Stanley Cups as a player. I have 3.
Which 3 do you have?
I have Al Arbour winning the Stanley Cup with the Hawks in 61, Leafs in 62, Leafs in 64. I do not have a 4th Stanley Cup.
It was 1954 with the Red Wings is what he is saying.
He is not listed as a champion for that year. He did not play in the playoffs.
We could be getting Henwade.
Well, he was on the Red Wings that season. He played 36 games. He did not play in the playoffs. I don't have him listed as a champion for that year. Anyway, we've given out the prize already. So, I don't know what else can you say. I was looking in a couple places. Now I see another bio. He won the Stanley Cup as a player with the 61 Blackhawks, 62 and 64 Leafs. I see no mention.
Brandon says NHL.com says Al Arbour won 4 cups as a player, 54 Detroit.
Well, other sources, including HockeyDB, do not have him listed as a champion in those years.
Well, what is it?
Well, somebody's wrong. One of the places is wrong. I should have used eyeglasses as one of the clues. I was thinking about that because he wore glasses, right, on the ice. Oh, now there is another place that says he won it with Detroit. Well, anyway, we got it. Somebody got it.
Controversy. It didn't matter. Well, I don't think it mattered.
He didn't play. He didn't play in the post. No, I don't know if he got his name on the cup. Did he play enough to get his name on the cup? I don't know, but he didn't play in the playoffs in 54.
It says he played regular season, not playoffs.
Right. So I know maybe his name is on the cup. I don't know.
Pizza Boy says, Beaumont Dusty, please don't ruin this for me. I've already told my children we get to eat tomorrow.
No, we're not.
We're not taking it
revoking
away.
the prize.
The answer's still the answer. You're good, Pizza Boy.
Okay. Stanley Cup engraving.
Hey, Coob, could you reach out to Rush, the beer league goalie, as well? I don't know if he had instructions. He won on Monday.
Well, according to this, that his name is on the cup in 54. So, in other words, I gave an incorrect clue.
So what should the penalty be? Or fine, punishment? Maybe that should be tomorrow's off-topic topic.
Yeah, I can't. Now, there's another. I could have saved my ass for this. He went to 3 Stanley Cups as a member of the St. Louis Blues. Because remember, they went to the Cup final their first 3 years in the league. He was a defenseman on that team. So it still fits. Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry.
That's what you meant. Okay,
that's
good,
what I meant,
good.
everybody.
Good.
Because the first clue was 3 Stanley Cups. The second clue was Blues. He went to 3 Stanley Cup finals
Good spin
final.
zone, bruh.
Yeah, I'm just making this up as I go. All right, well, I had an incorrect clue. I do think that's the first time. I do think that's the first time I had an incorrect clue. Not that that's an excuse. I feel quite shamed.
I know you would, but don't you remedied everything. It's okay.
Well, we got a winner.
Spin zone.
Yeah, we got
Pizza
a winner.
boy. Kids eating. I mean, hey,
plus
everybody's happy.
He won 3 Stanley Cups as a player in which he played in the final.
Yeah.
He did not play in the 1954 final.
I'll tell you, don't lose sleep over it.
I probably will. I get upset about things like that. I don't like being inaccurate. My game. Okay, what's your game of the night for
Calgary at Anaheim?
That's also mine.
Okay,
I think that's an obvious one on top of the Oilers one. Is it not?
Has to be.
It has to be.
Those are the only two
games that should matter, really matter in oil country.
Yes.
I guess you could maybe find other connections, but those are the two. How late is that one in Anaheim?
Well, it's an 8 p.m. start
so
as well.
We're going to know. Well, I don't know if that one starts at 8:22 as well. But we could know the Calgary result as the Oilers game is ending, and that'll make it even more tensy boogie boo.
Does it just come down to the broadcast ahead of the Oilers game is going to be later?
Yeah, I can't remember what the other game is on TBS, but it probably starts at 6 or 5:30. So they make sure there's no overlap. Let me see here. What is the other game that's on? We're not TBS on TNT. They have the Rangers and Philly at 7:30. So I guess they started at 8:22, so it's more likely the Rangers and Philly. Big game of two teams going nowhere. Especially Philly. Anyway, yeah, that's why they schedule them a little later. All right, 780-218-9999. That's how you text us using the inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. In the Nasty Chat on the YouTube stream, keep clicking the thumbs up. We are 3 away from 130, and therefore 27 away, 28 away from 155, where we want to get to ultimately for the double word of the day.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Murray McCourt from Augusta. Here comes the Coupe.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is doubtful for the Oilers as they find themselves in a clinching situation against the Blues. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas preview the action as they go live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on EST. Tune in at 7. And around the league, there's 4 other games. One game is live. Mitch Marner potting his 25th of the season, giving the Maple Leafs a 1-0 lead over the Lightning early in the first. After that, Minnesota and Kirill Kaprizov host San Jose, and the Flyers take on the Rangers. CFL News has the Elks signing 4 new players, 2 defensive backs in Braxton Clark and Kalen Barnes, while receivers CJ Hutton and Jacob Copeland have agreed to terms. 5 games are live in the MLB. Blue Jays and Red Sox are locked at 1 apiece in the top of the 3rd inning. Guardians lead the White Sox in the bottom of the 4th. That score is 3-1, while it's tied at 6 in the bottom of the 9th between Houston and Seattle. And we have 10 games in the association. Toronto hosting Charlotte, and the Lakers meeting the Mavs. Right now, Philly is up 8 points on the Wizards, and the Magic hold the Celtics 7-4, both games early in the contest. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. We have a quick break before the Reid Wilkins Show returns. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Eric McNamara, he joins us. Vladdy, the Jays give him his $500 million. It's not deferred.
Does he pass the physical?
Yeah. I do like how they're like,
how funny was that?
Yeah.
Why didn't that catch anybody's attention?
It was hilarious.
It's like that clause in what's his face, Kyler Murray's contract that if you're lazy, we can cut you.
Yeah.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Love is in the air.
I love you.
And you? And you? And you? Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
The River Cree Resort and Casino presents Bump and Grind Rewind, May 16th, featuring Drew Hill. With Cisco and Genuine, plus DJ Hartman B. Let me see that Bump and Grind Rewind. Friday, May 16th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
Okay, we basically need in YouTube 24 thumbs in about 20 minutes.
That's 12 people.
To get to double word of the day territory. Well, but you can only do a thumb once.
And then there's 12 new people. That's 24 thumbs. Everybody, most people.
Right, but you can only click the thumbs up once. That's what I'm saying.
Got me there,
one per
Reid.
account.
There goes that theory.
Anyway, but click
Way
that
to
thumbs
be a
up. There are
buzzkill.
definitely people in the YouTube stream who have not clicked the thumbs up. So don't be a pleasure delayer. Get in there and click. If you're new to the show, we have a really fun segment that we do at the end of the show. It's the word of the day. Jay gives me a word and I have to spell it and figure out the definition. And it's actually gone quite well and sort of become one of our signature moments, Jay. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, isn't it nice to be suddenly so highly regarded?
It is time to get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. And we're fired up for the Masters starting tomorrow. And we're fired up because our good friend and colleague, he's the boss at the Ranch Golf Course. He's the host of the VIP Golf Show here at Edmonton Sports Talk. And he's, quite frankly, one of the best athletes that I know personally. Murray McCourt is checking in from Augusta, Georgia. Murray, it's Reid and Jay. How are you? Murray, can you hear us?
He might be on mute.
Him. He might be on mute. We are talking. Can you hear us?
Hello,
Murray. Okay,
I'll text.
Fix up with him for a sec there, crew. That was a great shot, though. Like he's walking through somewhere in Augusta. I don't know if he's getting out of dinner or getting out. It looks like McDavid is going to play tonight after all. Chris Johnston now reporting that as well. So there you go, everybody. They're not playing shorthanded. Pretty good guy to get back. Chris Johnston, one of the guys I would most trust. Thanks to a couple people who have sent us that message as well. So there you go. McDavid now expected to return tonight against the St. Louis Blues. So that's huge. So a lot of people will be fired up for that for Gemco Fireplaces.
How's it there, Coob?
He'll reconnect. He'll be back in a second.
All right, we'll get it. We want to get the update there. So McDavid has not played since March 20th. I think we have Murray. No, do we have Murray? Yeah, okay, Murray, it's Reid and Jay. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We were just telling people it looks like McDavid's going to play tonight. So that's a nice boost for Oilers fans because Nuge probably isn't going to play.
Oh.
What have you done today?
Big boost.
That is that. What have you done today?
Oh my gosh!
Take us through your day.
Well, listen. I did the red-eye flight from Edmonton to Atlanta. So I landed here in Atlanta this morning at 7 a.m. Then drove, got my rental car, drove to Augusta, and I'm in Augusta. I haven't gone to the Masters yet, but I've been in Augusta all day. At 4 o'clock, I was at a cocktail party at Easy Go. They rented this big fancy house like a mile from Augusta National. And so we were at this cocktail party with who's who in the zoo from the golf industry there. And right now I'm at the Champions Retreat Golf Club in Augusta. I'm going to do a little up behind me here. Champions Retreat is a 27-hole private club in Augusta. 9 holes designed by Nicholas, 9 holes by Palmer, 9 holes by Player. Only golf course in the world that's like that.
Okay, so
and I mean it's absolutely crazy. Here, I'll do this picture. Look at this.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, the video's a little choppy, Murray, but I think we got a good look. It looks like the sky is clear and it's a pretty nice night there. I know we want to talk about golf, but I'm also curious as well. What is Augusta like? Because everything I've heard and read about it is it's not a very big city or maybe even the nicest place to visit in the world, but it's got Augusta National and the Masters.
Well, yeah, I read that too. It's a dumpy city, if you will. But, I mean, there's Augusta National. This is called the Champions Retreat Country Club. There's Augusta Country Club. And so there's a lot of crazy good golf courses here. And part of the reason I'm here is I was invited by EasyGo, a golf cart company. So both EasyGo and Club Car, their head offices are here in Augusta. I mean, so this is a golf mecca. There's so much incredible golf stuff going on here in Augusta. Even though it's not a crazy beautiful city or a lot going on in the golf space, there's a lot going on.
Murray, it doesn't sound like you're on a golf course. It sounds like there's music in the background. It sounds like, I mean, I see you got the glass of wine on the go. What is this deal you're at here, Murray?
Well, yeah, this is crazy. So I was invited here by a guy named Alan Palmer. He's the head pro at a swanky private club in Colorado. He used to be the head pro at St. George's in Ontario and another swanky private club in Vancouver. And he's actually a member here at the Champions Retreat Club. And so he invited us here. So there's 13 cabins on property here that go for $85,000 a week to rent. And so the who's who in the zoo of PGA Tour players are staying on property here. And then the richest of the rich CEOs of the biggest companies in America are staying on property here. And then just outside the gate, there's other properties where some of the Canadian guys, Corey Connor is staying, Mackenzie Hughes is staying, Taylor Pendrith is staying. And so they're all going to be here tonight. So this night's going to be incredible. They have a big range party going on. As it gets dark, the lights are going to be on the range. There's a big party on the range with drinks and food, a putting contest later. So myself and our superintendent that I brought here with me, Derek Senko, we're going to go in this 2-person putting contest on the putting green as it's lit up. There's going to be PGA Tour players that we're putting against and things like that. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. Like an experience that I couldn't even dream this up.
Murray, I just wanted to ask, you brought up the Canadians that are in the tournament, and Reid actually in our little draft took Corey Connors as somebody that could potentially win. Do you think this is a year another Canadian could actually win the Masters?
Well, listen, Corey Connors is always in the hunt at this tournament. He loves this golf course. It suits his game well. For those that don't know, his caddy is Danny Saul from Sherwood Park. He's been his caddy for a lot of years. I'm good buddies with him, and so going to be hanging out with him and Corey here in a little bit here at this golf course and at this little party going on. And Corey Connors is going to be in the mix at the end. I truly believe that. Whether he wins or not, who knows? I think that Scotty Scheffler is going to be right there. I think Rory's going to be right there. Those are the easy picks, but those guys are playing well, and they're the best in the world. And at this tournament and at this golf course, I think they'll be there. But Corey Connors will be in the mix at the end of this week.
I interviewed Danny on Inside Sports a few years ago because I was just double checking. I do have his number in my phone. I don't know if it's still current, but didn't he used to caddy for VJ? Is that him?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's the same guy.
He did caddy for VJ for a while. Yeah, that was a number of years ago now. He's been with Corey for a lot of years, but listen, Danny Saul, when he was one of the best golfers maybe to ever come out of Alberta, and he still has a lot of game. His plan now is to be to try to get on the PGA Seniors Tour in a couple of years. He's getting close to 50, and that's his plan. And you know what? With his experience being on the PGA Tour as a caddy for a lot of years and the game he has, it wouldn't surprise me if Danny Saul is going to be, a future Canadian on the Senior PGA Tour.
All right. McDavid expected to play tonight. Murray, I know you got to get to the event, but I got one more for you, and then we'll let you go enjoy yourself again. Of all the holes at Augusta National, which one are you most looking forward to seeing in person?
Oh, what a question. Well, okay, so listen, on Friday, we're going to be at a place called Berkman's Place, which is on the 5th fairway, and it's like who's who in the zoo. I'm under the understanding that either Peyton Manning or Condoleezza Rice is going to be greeting us as we walk in, and it's just going to be the most incredible experience ever. But behind Berkman's Place, there's 3 replica greens that have 4 holes cut in each of them, which are the 4 pin placements this week on the tour. They're cut exactly the same, and we have high-end Scotty Cameron putters to go and putt on them as we want. And number 16, I mean, there's so many historic moments in this tournament that have happened on 16, the par 3, a big crazy swale of a green on there. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that hole. And then at my experience at Berkman's Place on Friday, being able to putt on the exact same green and experience some of the putts that those guys do. I can't wait. That's going to be like just an incredible moment for me. I'm so excited.
Murray, we're so excited to have had you on. Thanks for doing this while you're down there enjoying yourself and taking in the whole vibe around the Masters. Enjoy the tournament. I look forward to hearing all the stories when I see you next week, my friend. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Have a great rest of your show, and go Oilers, go.
Right on. Murray McCourt, the boss at the Ranch Golf and Country Club, and our guy for the VIP Golf Show, regular on the Hangout. Man, oh, man.
Opening next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
April 15th, and those tee times are going to fill up. I know you can book online at the Ranch Golf website. But
I'm so glad Murray is there. What an experience.
What an experience. Sounds like he's soaking it all in.
Yes, he does.
Yes, it would sound like a great time. The weather looks great. Jealous.
I'd like to go to the Masters someday. I better go soon.
Everybody that's been there has said how the undulations on the greens and just the elevation change on some of these fairways, you just don't get.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is, I forget, it's on the front 9. There's a par 5. Remember Louis Oosthuizen eagled it. This was several years ago, and it's an eagleable hole, but it's downhill right to the green.
2 and 8 are the par 5s.
And then the green,
front.
You hit it on the front, and it rolls all the way.
8. Yeah, I think that is 8.
Yeah. But it is severely downhill, like 20-some feet, 30-some feet in some cases from where you're in the middle of the fairway down to the green.
Okay.
And vice versa.
We Chris Johnston reporting that Connor McDavid will play tonight against the St. Louis Blues. So Nuge not expected to play, so he's doubtful. But McDavid coming in and Noah Philp coming in. So the Oilers should have 12 forwards and 6 defensemen, and their power play should be better. Well, they should be all around better with McDavid in the lineup. I don't know what the line combinations are going to be. I don't know if they throw him. Well, do you put him with Hyman and
Arvidsson? Skinner?
Or do you leave... Well, maybe, yeah.
I think maybe. I'm not sure you leave Perry up there.
Do you leave Arvidsson and Podkolzin together and give them another center?
Yeah, put Skinner up there. I could see Hyman, McDavid, Skinner.
That would be all right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, big change. McDavid missed 8 games. They went 4-4 over that time. Again, if the Oilers win tonight, then the Flames lose in regulation to Anaheim. The Oilers are in the playoffs. So let's hope McDavid is totally healthy and ready to rock and roll tonight. We are 6 thumbs away, everybody. Mike, the Michigan fan, saying it's actually number 2. I assumed it was 8. Mike, the Michigan fan, would know way more than we do. Though Mike, the Michigan fan, to be fair, I've played Augusta National on PlayStation. Okay, brah.
And it was a double eagle, not just an eagle.
He holed out his shot.
His approach to the green.
Oh, right. Yeah,
it rolled all the way down. It was very memorable.
Right. Okay. We're 6 thumbs away from 155. We really jumped up the last time I put out the thumb call. So let's get up there, see how high we can go. Jay's going to do the word of the day with me. McDavid expected to play tonight against the St. Louis Blues. Nuge, doubtful. Draisaitl still out. Ekholm still out. Frederick still out. No Holloway for the Blues. No Parayko for the St. Louis Blues. Binnington versus Pickard. Your goaltending matchup. Pickard, the Oilers nominee for the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy. Here's Coop.
According to TSN's Chris Johnston, Connor McDavid will return to the Oilers lineup tonight against the Blues after he's been out since March 20th. And if the Oilers get a win in any fashion over the Blues and the Flames lose to the Ducks in regulation, Edmonton will clinch a playoff spot. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas preview the action during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show live at 7 right here on EST. And there's 4 other games around the league right now. Matthew Nyes and Mitch Marner have Toronto leading Tampa Bay 2-0 nearing the end of 20 minutes. After that, Kirill Kaprizov returns for the Wild against the Sharks. In baseball, there's 4 games live. Blue Jays and Red Sox are locked. I want to side in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Rays hold the Angels 4-1 in the top of the 2nd. And 10 games dot the NBA slate. Toronto gets set to battle Charlotte. Right now, the Wizards trail the 76ers 20-19, and the Magic are up 1 point over the Celtics, having both games nearing the end of the first quarter. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Must you click? Click. Thumb. Must you click? Thumb, thumb, thumb.
All right, well, we have 157 thumbs. Let's see how high we can go. We'll do a double word of the day in about 7 minutes. Thanks a lot for joining us. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Our show will end just before 6. The stream picks up again at 7 with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas leading into the Oilers and the Blues and the return of McDavid, the expected return of McDavid after missing 8 games. Well, I guess it's been an undisclosed injury, isn't it? They've never really said what's been wrong with him. Our off-topic topic for William Huff was that if you won the Masters, what would your Champions Dinner menu be the next year? Mine was a chips and dip offering, bowls of chips and dip around the area while you're mingling before you eat. You just grab a chip and dip away. The meal, Alberta prime rib with Caesar salad and roast potatoes. And I guess maybe some garlic bread too. And then my dessert would be a dark chocolate mousse. Well, you know what? Ice wine. Oh, so yeah, with my mom's chocolate bark.
Delightful.
And then probably ice wine. Got some nice BC ice wine.
Hersey chimed in. The appetizer would be assorted sushi. First course would be pumpkin soup. Main would be bison burgers with topping bar, steak fries, veggies, and Caesar salad.
Oh, well done.
Dessert would be a rum cake.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what a rum cake is. Is it just a cake made out of rum?
Yeah, I think it's just got like a rum flavor.
Is it boozy?
Have you ever done like what do they call it? The bananas flambe or whatever, where you cut the bananas in half, put them in a frying pan, throw a little bit of rum in there and it sizzles, and then take them out and put chocolate and whipped cream on them. And the bananas are still hot.
I used to do banana boats.
Maybe that's what
you put the bananas, you'd cut it, you'd keep it in the peel, and you'd put chocolate and marshmallows, wrap it in tinfoil, and put it on the coals of a fire.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's
lovely.
Great. Yeah. Got an anonymous texter saying the news that McDavid may play does not look good for my bet, but it is also the reason bettors can't take the league seriously because the injury reports are so damn sketchy. Definitely, I think a lot of people looked at the betting lines this morning with Nuge being doubtful and the Oilers still being favored at that time and put some money on the St. Louis Blues. Now it looks like McDavid's going to play.
You ride, Reid.
Well,
you ride.
There's a reason it's called gambling, everybody. That's my go-to line with stuff like that.
Hey, Jay, I had to get off the stream. Who was the mystery player of the game today?
Al Arbor.
Al Arbor
was the mystery athlete of the game. Somewhat, the clues I gave for the first time,
they were right.
Well, it's not the first time my clues have been disputed, but this is the first time I say that there might be some merit to the disputes.
Or deceptive.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I changed the interpretation after the fact. Doesn't look good. I'll have to do better on Friday.
Don't fret, pet.
I'm very fretted. I won't be able to concentrate at the game tonight.
I think you will.
780-218-9999 is the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. Well, it's got to change things for the Blues.
Yeah,
knowing that McDavid is in the lineup.
But Reid, we talked about this earlier in the day. If your top guns are ready to play, they're healthy to play, and air quotes, if this was a playoff game, they should be playing now, because this is the most important game right now. Is what's right in front of you tonight against the Blues. So, must have been listening.
Norman, a combine first course scallops from Bernadette's. Is that restaurant? I think it might have got Edmonton's best restaurant in Edify magazine.
Oh.
Or up there anyway. Second course, spicy fettuccine chicken Alfredo.
Oh, yeah.
And the third course, chocolate raspberry cheesecake. Nobody has submitted a menu that I thought, well, that's gross or that's too different. All the menus have been really good. Because what was yours again? French onion soup?
French onion soup, a really well done French onion soup, ribeye, bone-in ribeye, roast potatoes, Caesar salad, jazzed up Caesar salad,
right,
and then waffle cone with really good vanilla bean ice cream.
Just if you are at home or you're on your phone, not if you're driving right now, but if you want to Google at some point tonight or whenever over the weekend with the Masters, just Google Masters Champions Dinner or list of, and you can, I think the one I found goes back to 95. It's kind of cool to see what they've served over the years.
Very cool.
Like it's fun. And really, it's one of those circumstances where it's like, what do you want? We have to make it for you. Like, we have to try to get it,
Chief Andy says, if it's close to game time decision for McDavid, I think he's being rushed back.
Maybe. You could make that argument that maybe he needs another day or two off, but they just can't go short another game. Though, Knobloch has said a few times if this were the playoffs, they'd be playing. So maybe it's time to quit screwing around and get in there and try to bank some points and clinch a playoff spot.
Big Uke, Tommy made it sound like this is Connor wanting to come back, not the Oilers forcing him back. But keep in mind...
I would think the player wants to go, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we saw that last Friday, or when the Oilers took on the Flames and Leon came back into the lineup, and that worked out pretty well for the Oilers.
Played awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's good he's playing. I would think if there was a risk of serious re-injury, they would say, look, man, we're not letting you go. I would hope, but it obviously changes the dynamic of this game with 97 in the lineup, even with some of the other players that the Oilers are going to be missing. Okay, it is 5:50. It is time for the words of the day.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
First word of the day, vouchsafe. Vouchsafe.
Well, I know how to spell vouch and I know how to spell safe, so I'm just going to put them together. VOUCHSAFE. I think the definition is going to be far more challenging. I don't actually know what this is. Vouchsafe. Is it?
It's a verb.
Is it a form of a promise? Is it like making a promise? Really? Not as dumb as I look.
Vouchsafe is a formal and old-fashioned word meaning to give someone or something as a promise or a privilege.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding.
The second word of the day, ormolu. Ormolu. Women love.
Ormolu?
Ormolu.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it here. ORMALEUX.
I see where you were going there.
No, that's wrong.
I do.
Thanks, tuba guy.
ORMOLU.
Oh, ormolu. I don't think I've ever seen this word.
This is a noun.
All right. I'm going to say this is a species of bird.
Good guess.
Oh, I get two tubas for that.
Double tubas.
Thanks, tuba guy.
0 for 2. Gold or gold powder used for gilding.
Gold or gold powder used for gilding. Really? Okay. You know what? I don't know if I could ever see myself using that in a sentence.
It's like extremely thin sheets of gold leaf, that kind of stuff.
Oh, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I went 2 for 4. I got vouchsafe.
You did, and that's what you're going for.
And I'm glad I went for the French origin spelling of ormolu. You know, like why not? Why not try it out?
Yeah.
Because I don't think I would have got I probably would have put an A in it if I tried to do. Because how many words actually end with a U? There wouldn't be that many.
Very few. I'd say 10.
Exactly 10.
Yeah.
That's one of them. Now we need the other 9. Someone send us the other 9 words that end with a U in the English language.
Well, you would have lost your mind when you were here when Iwanek gave me the word mnemonic.
Well, I knew how to spell it. There's 2 versions of mnemonic. Of all the words we need 2 versions of, why mnemonic?
Why that one?
Yeah, I feel bad for people who have to learn English, especially as an adult, because it's like
apparently it's one of the hardest language to conquer
because it doesn't make any sense.
It
what is this? Well, that's an animal called a bear, B-E-A-R, bear. You know, so here's a word, F-E-A-R. Oh, fair. No, fear.
Yeah.
Oh,
good luck.
Yeah, like it's impromptu ends in a U. Okay, now we got 2 of them. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, the English, it's a great language, and I love to celebrate it, and I love when it's accurate. But yeah, a lot of the stuff just doesn't make sense. You know what I saw, Jay? I didn't watch the whole video, but it popped up on YouTube, and it was a woman who was some sort of a linguist. I can't remember her exact title, but she was reading sentences as people talked like in the 15 or 1600s. And the word night was like you kind of said the K.
Knight?
So that's, but it wasn't exactly like that. It wasn't as simple as knight. It was, and then, the pacing of the pronunciation was a little different. So, but it was kind of interesting. Well, that's why we have these silent letters. I guess in some cases they weren't silent, right?
Adieu? I mean, that's not an English word,
Adieu. We bid you adieu.
Trochu? Nope.
That's a proper name.
And so is emu.
I would consider adieu a French word.
Yeah, me
that
too.
we sometimes use in English, but really it's a French word.
Flu?
That's a good one. Yeah. Short for influenza, but it's its own word. So that would be good. Okay, so we have 2. Emu. Did you say emu? That's a good one.
I guess. I guess that is a word. It's also sure. 3. There's 3.
Okay,
we're on our way to 10.
Away. We're on our way to 10. Yeah, we're getting there. Hey, Kay, we got to go. So McDavid expected to play tonight. Nugent-Hopkins is doubtful with an illness. Oilers and Blues. The Oilers clinch a playoff spot if they win, and Calgary loses in regulation time at Anaheim. The GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan starts at 7. On behalf of Zachary Kubish and the glue guy, Jason Milne, I'm Reid. Have a great night.